Hello and welcome back to the Game Bet Match podcast. I'm your host, Manny Friedman, along with my co-host.
Brad Sloan.
Back in the house, baby. Back in the
Yeah,
house
yeah,
for a
exciting
gold
times.
swing, right?
Honestly, man, dude, this was a fantastic weekend.
It
Bublik
was.
wins an event, and we had Davis Cup, like the only good weekend of Davis Cup anymore, to be honest. Like
It was a
you watch this
phenomenal
weekend
weekend of
and you
stuff.
realize how much they've ruined it with the new format. Cause
Absolutely.
like some of these crowds, like these South American crowds are amazing. Like next time there's a South America versus South America Davis Cup tie, we gotta go. Like that would be a great event to go to.
Yeah, it would be cool. That would be
Especially like on clay, like Argentina, Chile on clay or something would be like fantastic.
oh. I mean, they're blowing horns in between first and second serves. Like,
Yeah, it's just like those fans care. Like unlike I don't know, like it's just like it's a
yeah,
fun atmosphere. Like it's a really fun and like they're reasonable.
they
Like
are.
they're not like I've actually seen way worse fan behavior at like
They're loud and rowdy, but they're respectful. And there's a
yeah
difference, right?
yeah.
So yeah, 100%. I
And they
mean,
have like their chants, like like
yeah.
they I don't know. It's like it's I think it's pretty cool. Whereas like yeah, it's
And
not. I
they
don't think it's like out of control rowdy. It's just like fun.
right. And then they like live and die on every point,
Oh
right? Like
yeah, yeah.
every point means the world. Like
Every serve, they go nuts on first serves. Like
the Chileans didn't care that they were minus 900. They were just thrilled. They were just thrilled that they got through, right?
yeah. Oh,
Like,
they were
and
so
they don't
fired
care
up. It
about
was
the
really
betting
cool
odds.
to
I
see.
doubt that most of those fans even know about betting, right? Like
Oh
they're
no,
just
no.
they don't care.
Yeah,
They just have a lot of pride in their country and they want their guys to
to
move on.
win.
And
Yeah,
it's very genuine joy, right? And that's what I
yeah.
see, right? And like it's great. I didn't see. I wish I saw more of that Argentina tie. Oh,
Oh, I know. I didn't see that. I was watching the Chile. I got more into the Chile Peru, but the Argentina tie would have been fun to watch. I feel like it's slightly more fun when it's two South American countries going at it
agreed,
because they're
agreed.
like those countries are all like rivals.
Although Kazakhstan, I guess you are they like the next tennis
Well,
superpower?
and they didn't even play their like the like
I
they got
know
Bublik. Like, what did they get Shevchenko for if not to play Davis Cup?
exactly. I mean, MP9 posted on the Discord. Is this the best weekend of Kazakh sports in history of the country?
I mean, they didn't win the Davis Cup tie,
I
so I
know.
can't. You know what I mean? Like, and
But to have
like
Bublik to
Bublik is a
won
Russian,
the
right? He's a
tournament,
Russian that like defected.
yeah, but
So
he's still Kazakh and he won the tournament, right? Like
I got to imagine
still a great
Kazakhstan's
showing
something.
by them to
Yeah,
win
I
two
think
matches.
Kazakhstan actually is decent in like wrestling. Not sure. I wonder if Kazakhstan's
True.
ever had a wrestling world champion.
But still, to go there and win two matches on
I mean,
Argentina,
it was an impressive weekend. Trust me, it was a good weekend for Kazakhstan tennis. But like, yeah, they had a Greco-Roman world wrestling champion.
oh, all I
So
could say is Borat would be very proud,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. As far as Montpellier goes, I mean, Bublik won. I cashed. I was very happy to cash my plus 550 ticket. For me, it was just good enough to hit it, just because like looking at that draw, I felt like from a just a pure tennis perspective, he has the most talent of anyone in the
I
draw.
get it. I
Right?
get it. I just have a hard time like. There's just so much potential for clowning in a Bublik match, and even this week there was plenty of clowning, right? Like
I actually thought he minimized the clowning. I thought he came out slow, but I don't think he was like necessarily clowning.
I don't know. I mean, the
I did get
Shevchenko
lucky.
match, the end of the Shevchenko match was really ugly.
Okay.
I mean,
I mean,
it was general Bublik stuff, right? Like he double faulted like 4 times serving for the match, or at least 3 times serving for the match against Shevchenko.
okay.
I mean, like like Bublik's never like. I guess it's hard to even say at this point because like it's sort of become the style he's adapted to, right? Where he's just not going to play rallies. Like he's just not going to play like standard conservative-ish tennis.
Yeah,
5 balls and he's going for it. Like he's not playing
yes.
like I can't remember the last time I've seen Bublik play like a true 20 ball rally of like back like cross court to cross court ground strokes. Like
But
it's
he'll
4 or 5
do
balls and
that.
he's getting out of
He'll do
there.
that on break point, like or a big point or something. He did that against Coric in some areas today.
Okay. I didn't see as much of the Coric match, but like
I honestly didn't see too much clowning per se. I was kind of impressed with him mentally. I mean, it's the first player in a century to win a tournament, losing the first set in every match.
yeah, look, like
Like,
it's
from a mental perspective, it's pretty impressive. Like,
yeah, it's yes. I mean,
yeah.
still is a lot of clowning. Like I think there's a lot of other players who we wouldn't consider double faulting 3 times in a game to be accepted. Like we give Bublik a lot of latitude because the standard for Bublik is so low. Like
I think he's so much better at tennis than like say a Maxime Cressy, right?
he
And
is.
like
He
as
is.
you said, it's the style he's adapted to, and it's winning him like an average of 1 to 2 ATP tournaments a year, which is a really good number.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think
And
like
it's like
yeah, I think like and
clowning.
I'm glad we're having this conversation. I do think there's a real conversation to have here around like I think like we can say a lot of like funny like clowny things, but I
Mhm.
think you're right, Manny. Like it's like if you're not gonna be like the grinding champion who's gonna go out and grind out semis appearance after semis appearance by making balls and winning 20 ball rallies and hitting 2 aces and 1 double fault to match, then don't do that. Right? Like
Yeah.
it's almost like like it's almost like full acceptance of like, hey, you know what? Like I'm
Eh,
not gonna. This isn't my game, so I'm gonna play quick points, and that's what I'm gonna do. And it's gonna and there's a lot of other side benefits of that, right? Like it's impossible to get in a rhythm against him. You never feel comfortable. Like
and he's capable of pulling off a lot of the shots that he tries.
oh
It's not
yeah, oh yeah. He's not. I like. I
right.
don't think there's. It's very rare that he pulls something off that he's not capable of pulling off.
Right, which speaks to his tennis talent.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's like would would you rather be Alexander Bublik or would you rather be Federico Coria, who's just going to grind away
Right, right.
on
And
fault, right?
that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you. I think like like yeah, I think you posted or somebody posted that he does like 45 minutes of touch warm up. Like that's like his
Yeah,
like that's like how he starts his practice. And like,
yeah,
you know what? Hey, like he's made a decision to go all in with that style.
and he's in the top. He's nearing the top 20 with that style. So like, can
And
you
and,
really
and is he
argue
gonna win
against
every
it?
match? No, he's not gonna win every match. He's not gonna win every tournament. He's not gonna
Djokovic
win
doesn't win
slams with
every
this
match.
style. What?
Djokovic doesn't win every match, right?
No, but he's not gonna win every like he's not gonna win slams. He's not gonna be like a top 10 player with this style.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a lot of advantages. Like, if you're not gonna be a great grinder, then embrace this style of doing different funky stuff. Like,
For sure, for sure.
and he's definitely embraced it, and he's very comfortable. And like the other thing too is it makes you comfortable like living with the mistakes, right?
Right,
Like he can double fault twice in a game and it doesn't bother him. A lot of guys like they'll have a game like that and it'll be like
right.
it'll like be bad times, right? Or they'll get into pressure situations and it'll be like bad times. Bublik like doesn't bother him because the way he plays, he knows he's always gonna be walking a tightrope.
I mean, as a bettor, it's nauseating, right? Which is why we stay away. It's not like we're faulting him. It's like we stay away because of the pain, right? You
It's
know?
just the range of outcomes with him is so wide. So like, there's some guys, right, who like I can tell you on a hard court today, he's probably gonna play like the 50th best player in the world. Right? Like if Bublik is ranked in like the 30s, let's say, right?
Mhm.
Like a guy around Bublik's ranking, right? You would say, okay, he's probably gonna play like, the 30th or 40th best player in the world today.
Mhm.
Bublik, he could play like the 10th best player in the world. He could play like the 150th.
Right.
And you don't really ever know. Like
Yeah.
you have like I think later in tournaments you have a better idea. Like we've talked about that before. Like I think like as he gets further on in the tournament, it's like there's a better chance he'll show up, but for lack of a better term. But it's never guaranteed. Um, you
I mean, I
know,
think you don't know how motivated he is until he gets through a couple matches or like because he could show up at a tournament and just be there for an appearance fee and be like, "Oh, I don't want to play this week," and like, okay, whatever, right? Like, so I
yeah,
think you should never bet a Bublik first round match, but then once he gets further on, like I think you can bet him because you kind of know his mindset, right? Like once you know the mindset, you know what you're going to get with him.
it's
You
better. I'm not gonna say it's like clean, but it certainly is better. Like I felt good backing him in the semis
hmm
against who did he play in the semis?
FAA.
Hey, like I felt
We
good
also got
there,
good
given
times.
like I thought there was no reason he should have ever been that big of a dog to
No,
FAA. That was
for
kind of
sure.
insane to me. I mean, Corch being that big of a dog to Room was kind of insane to me too, but like Bublik being that big of a dog to FAA was in a semi was insane to me, where Bublik is like, like he doesn't get super nervous. Like FAA actually has more problems with nerves than Bublik does. Um, FAA just hasn't been that good in forever, like since like the beginning of last year.
Well,
Um,
I also know, I don't know if you've seen that interview that he had with Casper Ruud and Benoit Paire.
I did,
Kind of
yeah.
a well-renowned interview.
And I'm laughing
No,
because
but
like Casper was miserable.
he
The
was
most hilarious
miserable.
part of that was Casper
He was
Ruud's
like
like,
eating the whole time. Like he was just eating in silence. It was hilarious.
yeah, well, because like, for Casper Ruud who like comes out and grinds, just like grinds out 250s and 500s like
You
nobody's
got him
business.
sitting next to these two clowns. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
truly, yeah. Like, talking about like how difficult it is to like, and then Bublik is pretty funny. Was like making
he
fun
is
of
funny.
Ruud and stuff, and you could tell Ruud was getting kind of pissed.
Well, from a tennis perspective, like if Bublik played Rude right now and he was at plus 170, I'd take Bublik any day in the week and twice on Sundays. Like,
On a
you know,
hard court, sure.
on a hard court, yes. And I mean, so just going back to that interview, like I think maybe now we kind of have to fade Bublik because Bublik always said that he always feels stressed in the beginning of the year because he wants to have enough ranking points where he gets into these tournaments, right? And he's just like super worried that he's gonna, fall out of like, the top 30 or top 40. If he wins like two or three or one, even one or two of these tournaments, like it keeps him at a reasonable ranking, right? And it gives him some wiggle room. And I think once he has that wiggle room, complacency can kind of come into the picture, especially with Bublik.
I mean, definitely. I don't know if he's playing. I haven't looked at the draw yet for Marseille. I don't know
I
if he's
don't think
like
so.
if he's. I'm assuming he's not playing this week, but if he was, he'd be a dead fade.
100% fade. Yeah,
Probably honestly, he's probably a dead fade until grass.
probably. Yeah. I mean,
Because like how I mean,
it,
like there's what a couple more weeks. There's like
maybe
2 or 3 weeks more
Dubai.
quick.
Maybe Dubai, he might be a good spot. Maybe you want to do something there.
Maybe, maybe. But how? When is that? 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks, 2, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably why he gave 120% this week because it's a weak field. He knows he has a good chance against all of these guys, right?
Yeah, he can scout and he can scalp 250 points. Yeah, sure.
Exactly. And then like he knows that the next couple weeks is tough sledding. Like Rotterdam is a slower court, with a tougher
Yeah,
field,
he's a no for Roddy. Like I mean, you hit on the head.
right?
Maybe Dubai, and
And
then
then
that's it.
Indian Wells and Miami are not that good for him because those are
No,
really slow hard
they're too
courts, right?
slow. I mean,
And
like, yeah, they're
hot
Miami's
conditions,
picking up a
tough
little bit, but
fields.
Miami's hot. It's not a fun tournament to play. Like, you don't want to be. He's not gonna
No.
want to be there.
Then goes to
Um,
clay, right? Like that's
yeah,
tough.
yeah. Then you go to the slow European
And
clay. That's no
so
good.
and then grass, he has a gazillion points to defend. So like he needed to rack up these points. Otherwise, like where do you get them? He lost first round of Australian Open, right? So he didn't gain any points there.
Yeah,
Like, and then it's just like where do you get the points? So
yeah,
I mean, good for him for collecting these 250, 250 points. It's impressive week from him. I thought. I mean, we were lucky. Like he was faced match point against Shapovalov, right? Like
yeah.
FA really, I guess kind of technically should have won in a way, right?
He had his
Yeah,
chances. Yeah.
he had his chances, yeah, but
Shevchenko blew like 8 million
he
volleys.
blew
Like if
that.
Shevchenko could hit a volley, I mean, I had Shevchenko at 61 to win the event, and like he played
I
terrible all
know.
week. But like,
I know.
I mean, just watching the match against Bublik, like Shevchenko missed like a bunch of like, I mean, he missed some volleys that were like pros just shouldn't miss.
Yeah. As far
Um,
as other things, Holger Rune, that was a bitch retirement, right?
yeah, a little
Terrible.
bit, a little bit. I mean, I think
I
he
don't think
was
he was
hurt.
fully injured.
What?
I think it was more mental than anything.
I mean, the trainer came out, was massaging out his form. He wasn't serving. I'll buy into he was injured. Um, yeah, it looked like he could have played through the final two games, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I mean, like, it's a little frustrating. It's a little, it's a little annoying because like the match was over at that point. It was down a set and two breaks. Like,
Yeah, finish the match though. Be a man. You know?
yeah,
Like it's not like he couldn't move or anything or he like twisted his ankle or something like that. Like
yeah,
a forearm soreness. Come on, finish the match. Like it's just I don't know. I didn't even have the bet on it. You had the bet. Like I benefited from that because I had the over
yeah,
22.5. You had the Corich money line,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, but as far as Borna Coric, I mean, he had a good run in challengers the last week. He made the final,
Yeah, I mean, he
lost
was. I think he
there.
said something
Pretty good.
about, or the announcers on the, and I don't know how real it is, but he had some issues with the elbow last year, I think, or the arm again.
Yeah.
And he seems to be over those. Like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, pretty good week from him.
yeah, I mean, anytime you make a final, it's a good week, and I mean,
I
yeah, I
mean, he
think that,
didn't start the week that well, but then the match against Kaboli was really impressive. It was disappointing for
I
us.
mean, wait. I mean, didn't he beat down Pedro? He beat
Yeah, that's true.
Caboli. He
Well,
beat,
Kaboli was a really good win. Like he played really well in that.
yeah, he beat Rune. I mean, he played pretty well against Rune. Um,
Yeah.
and then he played a decent match in the final. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see much of the final. I didn't see any of the final, but like he won a set off Bublik. I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It was weird. His behavior was kind of weird. Like he smashed the racket. Like what you would think Bublik would be the one smashing rackets, you know? Like Coric
there's a
was like
lot of racket smashing this week, though.
there was. There
Um,
was. But after that racket smash, he actually played so much better. And I think he won the next like 4 games or 5 games to win the set.
yeah, yeah.
And then Bublik kind of found his game. He got the early break, but and then kind of took it from there. It just kind of followed the trend of the week where Bublik lost first sets and then found an extra gear. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, Corch is another guy who I think, like, I'll be interested to see how this year goes for Corch because I'm
mhm.
not really convinced he's turned that much of a corner. I think he's just a guy who, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, he like plays well a few weeks a year. And it's not like,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it's like the clowning of other guys. It seems like it's more like
Well,
like he just,
he's always banged up, and I
that's
think
the issue. Yeah, he's always,
it's
you're right.
confidence
It's healthy. Yeah.
confidence in his body too. Like
Yeah.
if he's not
You're
fully
right.
confident in his body, he's just gonna flame out. But if he's like feeling good, he's gonna, he's a good tennis player, right?
Yeah.
So good
No, I mean,
serve,
I
good
think, like, I mean,
backhand.
as much as we make fun of Porch on this pod, like, I think that when he's playing well, he's a top 25 player.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw
Probably,
it in
probably,
Cincinnati like
yeah,
2 years
yeah,
ago. You got to respect him. You can't just like overlook him. You
yeah.
know.
The
Uh,
problem is like lately that's been like 5 weeks a year where he's been like that, and then 30 weeks a year where he's just like
yeah,
banged up or not confident or not liking the conditions or whatever's going on, and then he's like not even top 50. You know what I mean? Like he's
that's
he's
true. Yeah.
he's another tough guy to bet because like he's another scared guy to bet in first rounds.
Right.
Yeah.
His forehand also could be a big liability. Like if he's not feeling
Yeah,
it on that wing, I think
yeah.
like yeah.
But he was hitting the forehand pretty good this week.
Yeah, yeah, he was. He was. He has a world-class backhand. Great two-hander.
He's a good two-hander. He's a good
Yeah.
two-hander. Very good two-hander. He might be world class. He
Yeah.
might be right with that. It's pretty damn good.
Two more guys I want to talk about. FAA. Not
I
too
mean,
many.
nothing like I don't have any new update on FAA. Like at this point, I
Yeah.
treat him like he's somebody like top 40, 50 in the world, maybe. And
Yeah,
I think that's basically who he is.
I don't necessarily think he's turned a corner or like, is back
Oh
to
no, I
like
mean
end of
like
22 levels, but at the same time, I think it's better like where he can't be an automatic fade. Like he's not a pure fade.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's better than it was in the middle of last year when he was like.
Like, are you fading him against like a Watnuki like we were in the DC last year?
I mean, I wouldn't take
Example?
Watnuki at -110, but like probably, you know what I mean? Because I think books are I still think books are overvaluing him.
Okay.
I thought it was a comedy that Bublik was a +175 in that matchup. I really didn't
I
understand that
agree
line
with
at
that.
all.
But like
Like I
if
thought that should have been closer to pick, maybe even
probably,
I
yeah.
mean I'm like I'm legitimately not sure. Like, and this sounds like hindsight, but it's not. Like
Yeah.
I legitimately wasn't sure that like FA should even have been a favorite there.
Yeah, even if we got that bet wrong, I would totally agree with you. Like the books were totally wrong on that. Totally.
Yeah,
Totally. Yeah. Um so if FAA played Sissipas right now on an indoor hard court, who would you take?
over.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Probably the only right answer. But like what would you put the odds at?
I would favor Tsitsipas, but not like massively. Like maybe 2 game favorite, something like that.
Okay.
Like
So you view like Sissipas as like a top 20 player and FAA as like a top 40 player kind of thing, or like
probably roughly.
okay. And the last guy I want to talk about is Arthur Cazzo, which was a painful
Yeah, I
loss.
didn't really see any of him this week. I mean, I don't know. I think like he's really good, right? He's good, but like I think that was another instance of like, well, actually, I don't think so. Like, I think like I was so excited for that FAA match. I was like, I'm gonna hammer Cadeau. He's gonna be a dog. I'm gonna get to hammer him because I think this is close to a pick 'em. And it came
Yeah.
out like a pick. But by the time I got to, I think because it was a dog when it first came out. By the time I got to see it, it was pick, and I was like, damn it, like that's
Yeah,
really
I know. I
like
still liked it. I think I got it at minus 105 or plus 100. I put 2 units on it just because like I don't know. I like fading FAA, and like I
yeah. I
thought
just
Cazzo just like based on the eye test, like he's been playing better this year. Like it's in France. Like I thought that could have given him the boost. Like I don't know. I probably would have put Cazzo as a slight favorite there. You
I
know,
get it. I don't think like I think that like from a betting perspective, I just think like it became too obvious. Like too many people liked it. You know what I mean? Like the whole market was on it, so it was like not like
right?
you know.
Yeah. I mean, he's slight. I have to admit, like he's overvalued by the books. Like that one run in Australia, like kind of just even in Australia, he was getting a lot of respect from the market.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like after
yeah,
he beat Rune, like who did he play next round? I think was it Greek Spore.
yeah.
Like we bet Greek Spore and
We
like we were
both bet Greeks when we
wrong.
got hammered on
Yeah,
that.
we got hammered. But then like against Hubie, it was like I think he was like plus 130 or 140.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
like that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like that just shows. I mean, I think the market is buying into the hype train, and I think we got to pump the brake a little bit. He reminds me very much of what Lechka the Lechka treatment last year.
yeah, yeah.
You
I
know,
agree. I think
and I
like
think it's gonna flame out. Like I think he's better than Lechka, but like
oh, I don't actually know. Like, because like where would you like? I think he's like a borderline top 50 guy right now, Cazell. Like, like
well,
it's
his level is similar to FAA's as we saw by that match. It was like really close. And Kazo
well that,
outplayed FAA for big portions of that match.
yeah.
He was up a break in each of the 3 sets. So it's like I think you can rank them pretty close together, right? So it kind of
Yeah,
depends where you rank FAA.
yeah.
That's kind of where you put Kazo.
That's why I was so disappointed because like I was like, oh, it's like a guy, like yeah, because I thought like yeah, I thought the Marcus got it right in the end as a pick, and like I was just like, man, like
Yeah. 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 All right. So that brings us to where this week where there are 3 250s.
Yep.
Exciting times, huh?
Very exciting times. And in 3 different parts of the world.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. So where do you want to start?
I guess we can start in Marseille.
Marseille? Okay.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, it's probably the deepest draw, but it's
Oh,
also,
it's the best draw by far.
but it's the
It's just
one
not a particularly interesting tournament, but it's
it's
by far the best draw.
by far the best draw, but it's like the tournament I'm least excited about of the 3. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
You all know which tournament we're the most excited about, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess we'll end with that one then.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess let's go through the draw here. So
So first, I mean, indoor, right? There's another indoor tournament in
yep.
France. It used to play really quick years back. Um, I think it's played less quick the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And then from what I saw, I think they might be doing a surface change this year potentially. I saw
Oh,
somewhere it says
really?
like wood on acrylic or something. Um, so that's interesting. I don't know what balls they're using. I need to look that up. But yeah, I mean, I think like definitely past few years, it's playing as more of a like a medium paced ish indoor hard court. Whereas I think before it used to play a lot quicker. And so we'll see what it plays like this year. But I
So
wouldn't be.
Pro Nishikori sends out emails before each of these tournaments. Shout out
Yeah.
to him. He's a terrific tennis handicapper. But so he sends these emails out with kind of like overviews of the tournament. So he says the
Yep.
conditions in Marseille on the quick side. It's the 15th ranked tournament on the circuit.
Well, but what are those conditions from? Because I guess that's what I'm wondering is like what years are those from? Because it looks like I think it's slowed down in the past couple years.
Yeah, he said consider this information as a reference only. We can't definitively say that the tournament ranked 15 is faster than the one ranked 16th, let alone compare it to the tournament ranked 20th. So, like I guess that comes with an asterisk.
Well,
Uh,
in these indoor courts, right? Like they can always change the surface. I guess looking at it now, I'm looking at that same thing, and it looks like yeah. I mean, yeah, there was definitely a drop in first serve 1.1 percentage. It's a bobble up ball. Not sure
okay.
how those balls play. I don't know if that many people use them.
It's the French Open ball. It's like they use that in France.
I
Yeah.
um yeah. So
Oh,
that I
some
feel like it's a
player
pretty
statements.
standard.
The
What?
surface is some player statements. The surface is by no means impossibly fast, but it's still pretty low bouncing. The conditions and the balls are pretty slow. I mean, this is a couple years ago.
That's the problem though, right? Like
Yeah.
these are all. I mean, like I think
Oh,
they've
defending champion is
yeah.
what, Hubie?
Yep, Rublev won in 22, Medvedev in 21. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess it's pretty like a standard indoor court, right? Like,
I think there's a little bit of altitude here, I think, in Marseille, if I remember right. Might be like a few hundred meters.
let's see. Um,
1,000 meters? Oh,
463
140
feet,
meters. I'm not
140
sure.
meters. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah. I'm looking at yeah.
negligible.
I mean, it's yeah, it's not much. It's
It's
not much.
southern France, so it's like pretty close to the ocean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna put too much stock into the court speed here. Like, to me, it's more about like how these guys are playing.
Yeah, I would generally agree. I think it's a pretty neutral-ish hard court, indoor hard
Yeah.
court.
So as far as this draw goes, QB is the number 1 seed. He will play the winner of Bonsai and Shevchenko. Machak will play the struggling Andy Murray. Um, Martyrer will play Lorenzo Musetti,
And that's the quarter, right?
and that's the first quarter. Yeah. So what catches your eye here? For me, it's the Machuk Murray match. Like, I still think Murray is slightly overvalued just because of the name recognition. Like,
He's still
I'm gonna
winning sets though. He's not winning matches, but he's winning sets. It's a little scary.
barely.
Um,
I mean, who did he play in? I mean, can you really take much stock into him winning a set against Benoit Paire?
yeah,
Like,
man, Benoit Paire's tough in France. That was peak Paire. That was peak Benoit Paire. I mean, no, but like he did win a set from Dimitrov earlier this year. You know, like
okay,
he's
that's
won. Like
fair.
if you go back to the end of last year, he had a bunch of 3-set losses. Like I'm not saying he's good by any means, but I don't know. It's yeah, we'll see.
He's even said that he's like in a huge funk right now. Like, it doesn't look like he's the same player, even like from 12 months ago. Like, it feels
I don't disagree. I'm not. Yeah, I
other
mean,
time has
I
really
don't
hit him,
disagree.
and Machuk is playing well. Like,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna hammer Machuk there. I'm probably gonna lay to what 3.5 games. I
you
mean,
even know what the line is?
yeah, I was all over
Oh, you
them
do. Okay.
because I feared it would move to 4.
Okay.
You know, so that's why I hit that one early. But that match catches my eye. I mean, Hubie should get through it. I think Machuk is the second most dangerous player in this section for
I
sure.
think Shevchenko's always scary too, man. Like
You just said he can't volley.
he can't, but like most guys don't make him.
I guess. I mean,
Like
like,
if you look at this draw, like who in this section of the draw is going to make him hit a volley? Hubie's not playing any. I mean, maybe Murray, but I mean Murray's not winning 2 matches.
yeah, Machuk, but he
Is
still has.
Machak really? I feel like Machak is more of just a standard baseliner.
Yeah, but
He
he
can
comes.
volley. He can volley. He has good volleys. I'm not saying he can't volley, but
He's a good
I feel like
volley, but
he.
he comes to net, and a lot of times, he'll hit some drop volleys and force Chevy in. You know,
And yeah, I mean that's yeah. I'm not really worried about that.
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm gonna back Chevy. I'm just saying like I do think Chevy's always is still a decent look on an indoor hard
Okay.
court. Machak is though too. I mean, like the 3 guys here that are remotely interesting are Machak, Shevchenko, and
I
Hubie.
mean, he's number 3 for me. Like, if I'm ranking the players, it's Hubie, Machak, Shevchenko.
I've got Machak and Shevchenko pretty close. Probably have a
I have Machak second.
I don't know.
And then
Normally I would have Shevchenko number 2. I think Machak is. I
yeah,
think I mean you really love Machak or Makach. I think it's
yeah.
Makach, but I mean like I don't know. Yeah,
And
but
then
I mean,
after that,
yeah,
it's
but either way, Hubie should get through this.
yeah. But after that, there's a huge drop off. Like, Musetti's number 4,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like Martyrer and Bonsai have been terrible this year, and Murray. I mean, I probably put Murray ahead of those two guys, but like, ugh,
Yeah, probably. I think I agree.
yeah. All right, next quarter we got Ugo Humbert. He's the number 4 seed. He'll play the winner of a qualifier.
What? Who is
Oh,
that qualifier spot? That should be decided. Didn't they already play the second round of
no,
quals?
they have the second round of qualifying.
Oh, that's right. That's Cordoba that played the second round of quals
Yeah.
today, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, and then we got Rusevori and Luca Van Ash, who are both coming from Davis Cup, by the way. Luca Van Ash is coming from
Did
Taiwan.
he play?
He did play.
Okay.
He's coming from Taiwan. Rusevori is coming from Finland. So remember, this week we have to take travel spots into
We
consideration.
do. We do. Although Finland's not as much of a concern.
Yeah, but I mean, it is in France, and usually I would back Van Ash in that matchup. But like the fact that he's coming,
The Van Ash is a very, very legitimate concern. I'll agree with you on that.
and then Barrere and Davidovich Fokina uh,
Yeah.
rounds out. It's an interesting quarter, very interesting quarter.
I mean, sure. Like, yeah, it's an interesting quarter. It's interesting. It's a lot of guys with really wide ranges, right? Like Humbert, Shapo, Rusevori, and Fokina are four guys who have like pretty wide ranges.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true.
I'd love to see what a Rusevori to win the quarter price looks like, because I think that would be an interesting one to me.
That is an interesting look. Do we have lines up for this?
They probably just have outrights. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What is 22-1 to win the event? That's kind of interesting, actually, on Rusevori. You might have to look at that one.
Okay. It's worth pondering.
Yeah.
Um,
This is the one I really haven't looked at in depth. I looked at the other two tournaments in a lot more depth today.
oh,
So.
okay. But you're right. It's guys that have a very wide range of like floor versus ceiling.
And if we think Rusevori should beat Van Ash, I mean, he could beat Barre. He could beat Humbert.
100%.
Humbert's probably a good
Yeah.
look too, but I can't imagine the odds on Humbert are any good.
Probably not, but I think he's a deserved favorite to win this quarter.
Yeah,
In his
yeah,
home country.
but I don't think he's like a great. Like, it's just not a great spot to pick a favorite though, because like, I mean, Shapo's always scary, right? We saw Lucky. I mean, he almost beat Bublik in and then Foki's always scary. Like,
Has
I mean, they
Ugo
can also go the
played?
other way and play completely terrible. You know what I mean? But like, they're both scary.
Has Ugo played since the Australian? No.
No.
Huh. All right. Next quarter we got FAA against Halis.
Halis is coming from Taiwan too, right?
He is, yep, and he played as well. So that's
Yeah.
another thing we got to weigh. Xi Zhang against Alexander Muller. Got two guys who father time have hit hard, RBA and Richard Gasquet, and Kachanov is the 3 seed here with a bye. I actually
I
think
like Kachanov a lot here in this quarter, man. I mean, who else is even like playable? Like maybe Xi Zhang, but
yeah, but
that would
Xi
be it.
Zhang just lost the guy to a guy ranked like 700 in the world in
I know he did. I know, but I'm saying like, so
rank.
what? So you want to play RBA or Gasquet?
No, hell no.
Muller?
No, hell no.
Hollies?
Not coming from Taiwan.
FAA? But you're out of guys, right? And I think
You're
the
out
Kachanov
of
is a great
guys.
matchup against FAA.
But what price? I wonder if the market is going to catch on to that. Like if I got Kachanov at like what? I mean, anything better than minus 140, right? You have to take that.
Yeah, I mean, also on an outright, if it's anything better than like, I think like on an outright, it'd be nice to get like 8-1 or better. Ooh, it's
It's
close. I might have to play that. That's close.
yeah, and we always say Kachanov struggles against like top 10 guys, right? Like because he has
Yeah,
limited
but who's the top guy that he's going to get destroyed by here?
exactly.
Maybe
Exactly.
Dimitrov. I mean, Dimitrov is.
But he's not a guy you want to back into 250, Dimitrov. Like, he can throw in that random dud.
I don't mind backing Dimitrov actually in a 250. He won one to start. I mean, but yeah, he hasn't won a whole lot of tournaments. He's not a great guy to back on outrights,
No,
Dimitrov.
he isn't. I mean, that was his first tournament win since
Yeah.
2017. And
As out of form as Kachanov is in this draw, it's appetizing, man.
see, I would love to do a Xi Jinping rollover. Like I think he would be a great guy because he's a slight dog against Muller. He'd probably be a dog. He would be a dog against FAA, and then he'd
He's a
be
dog against Muller.
plus 120.
Where's he coming from?
I think it's irrelevant just because like how badly he played.
I mean, I think it's always relevant. Because some of these
Um,
guys just play bad in Davis Cup. You know what I mean? It's a completely different environment. Like, I'm more willing to excuse Davis Cup duds than other duds.
they didn't put the uh
Is it really
Davis
World
Cup
Group 2 that
matches.
China's in?
World Group 2, yeah.
Okay, so he won one match. And he lost to
Sebastian
Sebastian Domingo.
Domingo.
But where was this tie? Was this tie in Slovakia?
This tie was in China.
Oh, then he's coming from China. That's no
Yeah.
good. Man, you got to be all over Kachanov then. There's just nobody else. It's either him or FAA.
Right. But what I was saying is like I wish that Zhang was playing better and was coming from a country closer by because like I
Yeah.
think he would be a perfect rollover candidate here. Right?
Okay.
I might still do it just because like he's kind of hit or miss. Like, is there I really think Zhang could beat any of these guys. Maybe not Kachanov, but like every other guy in this portion of the draw
Yeah,
here.
sure, sure. But he also could lose. I mean, like, I just don't. I mean, I don't know. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, let's see the quarter price on Kachanov. That might be a GBM candidate because like
Yeah, I mean, even 7.5 to 1 to win on the outright doesn't look bad to me. It's close to me to what I would. It's
okay.
like I prefer it at 8 or 9, but it might be something I might take that. Because
Okay.
like I just think like the first match, right? Looking back at catching up for like the first match is a walking by.
Yeah.
The quarter should be winnable. I don't know, man. And then you get him in the semis, and like he's a competitor. It's only 2 more matches he's got to win. I don't
And
know.
it's not the greatest semi. Like I mean the toughest match is if Dimitrov
Well,
gets
it's Dimitrov. It's Dimitrov. I mean, like that's the scary match here. Like,
but like Lechka against a qualifier, Rinderknecht against a qualifier. You got Korda against a qualifier, and then Dimitrov. And then let's look at the qualifiers briefly. So it's Gaston, Herbert, Zepieri, Grenier, Cressy, Dam, Goffin, and Puy.
I mean, those are actually pretty good qualifiers.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. It's pretty
Like
good.
those are all pretty scary guys.
I mean, who's the scariest guy of all of them? Like, you think they're a threat? I think they're a threat. Any of them are a threat to beat Korda, right?
I mean, I think any of them are a threat to win 1 to 2 rounds. They're not really threats to win the event, but they're threats to win 1 to 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Especially given who they're playing. Like,
Your Rinderknecht or
I
Lechka.
mean, honestly, like some of them, a couple of my, they probably wouldn't be favored because it's in France, but like it'd be close.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess looking at the outright here, I guess Kachanov is the best look at seven, as you said, at plus
What is
750.
that like? I mean, Dimitrov is a pretty damn good draw too. Honestly, like
He does.
the only thing that's a little scary is he plays quarter in the first round, which isn't ideal. Like you'd rather have him play like a little more of a walking by.
I think the qualifier is live there, though.
I agree, but if quarter, but like quarter still has talent, right? Like even if he's been playing like shit, like he still has talent. He's always scary. It's in both directions. I'm not saying I would back quarter. I'm not backing quarter 8-1 to win
Yeah.
the event, but like I don't love having quarter in my draw if I'm picking a guy to win a
Okay.
tournament.
Yeah. Especially that early, right? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like in the first, like he's got to play quarter in round of 16. Like, ugh. Like if quarter was like if quarter was in Lechka's seed spot and you had like RBA versus a qualifier, I'd like that a lot better.
right.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like betting Dimitrov on the outright markets. Like him winning tournaments is just has been so few and far between since 2017, even though he's been good. Like the way we describe Dimitrov is like impressive but disappointing.
I know, I
You
know.
know? And it's like we thought he'd have a huge run at the Australian Open, like he was playing so well, and then he lost to Nuno Borges. Like, you know?
Yeah. But I do think Dimitrov and Slam is just a bad idea.
Okay, yeah, 2 out of 3 suits him better for sure.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to see how many finals has he played. Yeah, I mean, so yeah. I mean, he did make 2 finals last year, Geneva, and then he made Paris Masters final.
Mm-hmm.
And then he won Brisbane this year. Like that's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible. It's good. He's had a
Yeah.
great run. It's just
Um, but yeah, that jumps out. Rusevori at 22-1. I got to think about that. Might be playable. I mean, Chevy at
Yeah.
33-1. I actually don't like. I mean, I know you don't like Chevy, but like, I don't. I like. Like his draw isn't bad. Like Hubie's always beatable.
Yeah, I think Hubie's been better. Like, I don't know. I don't think he's as vulnerable as he was. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I think he's playing better. Good run at the United Cup and then quarterfinals at the Australian Open. Like, he's had good results consistently now. So I'm not like I actually don't mind a Hubie for 4.5 to 1.
Ooh, I do.
You don't like it, but you're not as high on Hubie as I am.
I'm not, but even that said, like I just think like even if you look at his draw, right? Like he could lose like I don't think he will lose to Shevchenko, but I think he could like a third of the time or something.
No, for me it's like a tenth of the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not high on Shevchenko. I already backed him on the futures market, and then like we saw that match against Munar, and then like we saw him how he played last week. Like I don't know, he's lacking maturity. I don't like it. I don't. I think Machak is a dangerous match. I think Bear could be a dangerous match potentially. I like his draw. I mean, I would prefer like 5.5 or 6 to 1. Like 4.5 is a bit low, so I'm probably gonna stay away there.
I just always get scared with Hugh because again, like just so many tie breaks, man. Like, and I'm not convinced he's like the world's. I'm still not convinced he's the world's best tiebreak player. Um, but yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. I gotta yeah, but I get it. Like,
How about the no on the unseeded finalist? That caught my eye at plus 115.
um, I don't love it. I think that top half actually has a lot of like kind of dark horse threats.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, look, like Makach, I think is. I mean, like Makach has talent. I mean, Shevchenko has talent. Um, Shapo has talent. Umber's can be flaky.
Oh, you like
Huey plays a lot of
Rusevori.
tie breaks. Fokina's a mental mess. FA is not that good. Kachanov's always eh. Like he's tough, but he's
Yeah.
beatable. Like, I don't know, man. I think that's
Yeah, you talked me out of it. You know what? I want to have a futures here. I'm gonna hit the Kachanov at 7.5 to 1.
that's the one that I'm closest on. Like if I had to hit one, that's probably the one I would look at. I love the fact that the first round is basically a walk me by.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a quarter 3/4 of a unit on that.
All right. Yeah, I think that's a good look. And if you look like just relative to the other guys around him, like
Yeah,
man,
what I
like
like is that he's the clear favorite to win that quarter. And then once
yeah,
the
and the
semis,
other thing
like
is if you
I'll
look
take it.
around it, right? Like I think there is some value here because if you look at those guys all between 8 and 20, they're all way overpriced.
Hmm.
Like to me, this is either you go for one of the favorites or you go for
A dark horse.
yeah. Because like the four favorites here, none of them played Davis Cup either, right?
Correct.
I mean, Ugo at home is interesting at 7-1 there, sitting there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be thrilled if he played Hubie in the finals, but Hubie could get upset before that.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, to me, as far as the dark horse is like probably Machak at 22 to 1 is like the one I'm looking at most. I know you're looking at Rusevori.
yeah,
Uh,
And I'll probably take a look at Shevchenko. I doubt I would play it, but yeah, it's something I'll look at.
Mhm. I would like the Xi Jinping at 50-1, but like not if he,
And
the
for me, it's just
travel
the
spot.
Davis Cup travel spot.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe it's worth hitting and spitting into the face of it and hitting it. I mean, he's really just got to get through that first match.
Yeah, it's just for me, it's just the roll. I might do the rollover with him because he's gonna be a dog in every match.
I don't know if that's true. I mean,
He's a dog
like
against Muller, and then he would be a dog against FAA, and he'd
he's
be a
gonna be a good
dog
dog
against
against FAA.
Kachanov.
It'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting to see because I don't
That's
know
a
that
good
he should be a
matchup.
huge dog against FAA. But you're right.
I
Maybe he
agree.
will be.
I mean, if Bublik was a plus 170 dog against him, like Zhang should be a plus 200 dog.
Yeah, I just don't understand that. Well, I still don't understand that line, like where that comes from. But
Yeah,
because if FA is that good, then wouldn't he be a favorite against Cazot or Cazot?
agreed. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. All right, let's go to individual matches here.
yep.
So Marseille, I mean, we'll skip the qualifying matches.
Yeah.
But
You
we'll
got Martyr or Musetti, I think is
Carter
first up, right?
Musetti. Yeah, that's the first match here.
Oh,
2.5 game favorite for Musetti. Plus 150 for Martyr. Over under is 22.5. Musetti's minus 180 on the money line. I think it's pretty accurate. I'm going with the over 22.5 here. I also like the 3-set line at plus 130. Like, honestly, these are two guys you want to fade on a hard court right now.
I'm not. I mean, I don't know if Musetti's as bad as what people say he is on hardcourt. Like, I certainly don't think he's good, and he certainly is way worse than he's on clay. But I don't know, man. Like Martyr has been bad so far this year twice. He got beat by Borges and Straits and got whipped by Cazot. Um,
Yeah. He's only played 2 matches this year. Musetti beat Bonsai in 4 tight sets, which actually isn't a great win. Bonzi looked really bad against Michael Moe last week. Um,
he lost to Van Ash in 5. That's not terrible. Like, it's not good, but it's not terrible.
mm, it's not. It's
Oh.
not. Adelaide lost to Bublik in 3.
Like, I think we look at Musetti's ranking of 26 and we're like, wow, he's bad on hard courts. And like, yeah, he's definitely way worse than that on hard courts. But like, I don't know, he's somewhere between I think he's a deserved favorite against Mar. I mean,
So you think this is an accurate line, or you think like 2.5?
I'm still tempted. I'm tempted to back Martyr, but then he's been so bad this year, so I'll probably just stay away. But if I would lean Martyr here, but it's a pretty soft lean.
All right, I'm doing 1 unit on the over 22.5 here.
Okay.
I just think that both guys are struggling. It's gonna be hard for either guy to close them out. Like I think chances it goes 3 sets is pretty high. So yeah. All right, next match is RBA and Richard Gasquet. Gasquet or RBA is a 3.5 game favorite. Minus 220 on the money line. Gasquet's plus 180 over under of 22.5. I'm all over the RBA 2-0 here at plus 115. And I was thinking also about hitting the under 22.5. But the thing is that if Gasquet steals a first set, then I think that's in jeopardy. Because I do think Father Time has hit both of these guys hard. I just think it's hit Gasquet harder. Like I watched that match in Montpellier against Lamas Ruiz, and Gasquet had no spring in the legs whatsoever, no explosion. I mean, anytime he was on the stretch, like he was nowhere near the ball. And even if he got a racket on it, like it would hit the ground before it hit the net. Like it was ugly. Like it's sad to watch because like he's just so far away now. Considering like a year and a half ago he won in Auckland, you know? Like so
Yeah.
it's just really bad. And like RBA also, like, you know, he's lost a lot of spring in the legs. Like he doesn't look good. I just think like he's better than Gasquet. Like, and if he's able to hit that forehand with any precision and get Gasquet on the move, like that's trouble. And I don't see any way for Gasquet to get out of that. So I'm pro RBA here.
Yeah, I mean Gasquet's been terrible the past three
Right.
months. He's 2-9. He's got losses to Martyr, Nakashima, G's Brewer. Or 2-9 his last 11. He losses to Martyr, Nakashima, G's Brewer, and Lamas Ruiz now. His 2 wins were over Marchenko and Paracard. Um, I mean,
I mean, he lost like 3-1 to Nakashima, which is like really bad.
I know. This is
It's an ugly match.
I mean, I'm still tempted to back Gasquet in some capacity, like maybe to win a set or something, because like I don't know, he's at home, like it would be more of a fate on RBA than it would be because I have any faith at all in Gasquet. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. Like I hear you. Like I don't believe in either of these guys.
The under was something I was looking at though. Do you like that play?
No, no, because I think both these guys are competitors.
Okay, fair.
Um,
I mean, I think if you're going to back Gasquet in some capacity, you have to back him in the first set at plus 145.
yeah, I know that's what I was looking at that too. I was looking at that too.
To
Like
me, it's
those,
just not good enough. Like he's been struggling not just to win matches, but to win sets.
yeah, I agree. The problem is like I'm not convinced that RBA should be a 3.5 game favorite on hard court against anybody either. I mean, like, so RBA's last 10 on hard, he's 4-6. His last 12, he's 4-8. That includes losses to Emer, Billy Harris, Marizon in the third set, which isn't terrible, but Offner, RCB. Like it's not like you know what I mean? Like it's not like it's that much
Not
better for
good.
RBA, man.
Yeah, it's not
Which is
good.
why I'm thinking just give me something with plus money on it. And like I get Gasquet at home.
It's probably a stay away.
Yeah, I mean like the but I'm considering this match. I might have a play. For me, it's Gasquet or pass. I just can't really get behind a 2-0 RBA. But
Okay.
I gotta think about it. Something might be able to change my mind.
I mean, it's a small unit. I think I'm doing like 0.75 on it. Like I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
full unit on it, but next match is Bonsai against Shevchenko.
Two more guys have been
Bonsai.
bad.
Um, so my play here, well, I guess let's go through the lines. Bonsai's a 1.5 game dog, plus 110 on the money line. Shevchenko's minus 130, and over under is 23. I like the Shevchenko money line at minus 130. But what I like even more here is I got it at minus 105, but the Shevchenko over 12 and a half. That was my play.
Yeah, I kind of like that too, actually. I kind of like that too. Because I think Shevchenko should get there eventually.
Well, I don't think he's mature enough to like just beat an opponent down like 3-3.
Yeah, it's also
He'll
I'm looking
find a
at
way to make it
Bonsai, and
fun.
Bonsai's last Bonsai's last 6 opponents had gone
Mhm.
over 12.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Bonsai's been really struggling, man. Like, can he even get? I mean, man,
Yeah, but Shevchenko, like, I mean,
hasn't looked good either. I know, I
the
know.
last three matches against Persina, Barrere, who were both not, I mean, Persina is underpowered, and then Barrere has been really struggling. Like, those matches went 3 sets.
Yeah,
So, like, Shevchenko is playing below his ranking of 59 right now,
yeah, I agree.
right? So, I mean, I think if you want to just go Shevchenko money line, I don't think that that's a bad look either at minus 130. I mean, you're
Yeah,
higher on Shevchenko than I am.
yeah, he's just struggling so much lately. I don't, man. Ooh. Didn't Bonsai do okay here last year?
Yeah, but last year he was in a totally different frame of mind. I can't put any stock into last year considering he had that injury, Bonsai. Um, I think it's totally irrelevant what happened last year. Remember last year he made the Pune final, he made the fourth round of the Australian Open. Like he was in a way better frame of mind.
He's in a better place. You're right.
Yeah, so I don't think you can put much stock into that.
Yes, that's a good
I
call.
mean, you just said Shevchenko has a 30% chance of beating QB.
I
Like,
know. I know.
I mean, I think you like based on your
Yeah,
tone
I'm
have to back.
probably gonna end up backing Shevchenko money line, but
Okay. All right. Next match is Rusevori and Luca Van Ash. We have the Van Ash travel spot from China. But Rusevori is a 3-game favorite, minus 210 on
no,
the
where did
money.
Roosevelt play? They played in Finland. Yeah, they played in Finland.
Yeah. Um,
I think this is a no for me. This is just a pass.
it's a pass. I agree. This is
But
a match
I can't back Van Ash off this travel spot, but I don't really
you can't
Emil at
back
minus two
Rusevori
ten is just
favorite.
not never a guy. Like never something I'm interested in.
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of upset that Van Ash had that travel spot because like typically like if there was no travel spot, I'd be
Oh,
all
this would be
Van Ash.
fantastic if there's no travel spot. Absolutely fantastic. Like this should be like that's why I think it's pretty well placed in. But this is a rough travel spot. This is
Yeah.
this is a rough travel spot. Like this is a
Like 8 hours of time difference. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Coming off, yeah, Davis Cup ties.
Yeah, like I'm not yeah, I have no interest in this match from like I'm just a hard pass.
But if it goes to like plus 190 or plus 200, I think you have to hit it just from a value from a price perspective.
I mean, it's already disrespectful of Van Ash, to be honest.
It is.
But
I mean, he's playing at home. I think that will give him an added boost, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's the only line worth hitting here if you're going to
yeah,
hit something, right? So, FAA against Quentin Halise.
pass. It's the same thing. Like this line is borderline disrespectful for the Halise, but for me with the travel spot in play, I can't play either guy at this
Yeah,
price.
it's a pat. Well, actually, I got 2.5. I like I got 2.5 at minus 125. I think that's a better line to hit if you're going to hit FAA.
Yeah, I could see hitting FAA here. I
Um,
mean,
Tidbits and Piranha, they're on the Holly's money line here.
yeah, I just can't with the travel spot. Otherwise, I'd be all over it.
Yeah, fair. Barrera and Fokina.
He did play, right? Halise did play in the Davis Cup.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
Barrera is 2-game dog plus 130 on the money line. Fokina is minus 155 over under 22.5.
Seems like a great spot to hit Fokina, man.
How down are you on Barrere?
Pretty down. And like, I mean, the only problem is Foki's first match backs. Basically, he's playing since the Australian Open, and he's on the road. You know, not on the road, but like
Yeah.
Barrere's at home. But
Does
yeah,
it
I don't know,
matter? Because
man.
Barrere is kind of a low energy guy. Like he doesn't really feed off crowd.
No, he doesn't. I gotta look at this one a little bit more. I gotta see how Foki does off of like these like long layoffs. But otherwise, I'd back Foki here and lay the 2 games pretty easily, pretty confidently.
It's only 2 games. I mean, yeah, I thought this would be 3 at the minimum.
Yeah,
2. The 2 seems good. How about the Foki over 12.5 at -130? That seems appetizing.
yeah, it's just juiced, you know.
It is juiced.
And like honestly, the problem is too is like there's not like a lot of times with that 12.5. One of the nice things is like you can lose in 3 sets and get there a lot. That's not as good of a bet with Foki.
True, true. Reset line is +130. Eh. Yeah, I mean we have a day to think about it, but I think taking the 2 game or laying the 2 games is a good look there. Machuk Murray, wow, this went from 3.5 to 3, unfortunately. I'm all over that. That's probably a 2-unit play for me. You're probably gonna pass, right?
Yeah, I'll probably pass. I mean, it's tough though because you're right. Murray's been so bad. Like if I were gonna hit Makac here, it'd be just because of how bad Murray's been.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, I mean, like it's you know, because I'm not sure Murray's even a top 100 player, right? But see, like then again, like you look and like, you know, yeah, like, but 3 games is a lot. Like all Murray's do is show up and win a set, and it becomes really hard to cover that 3. Um,
Yeah, but I think Murray's like underpowered in this matchup. I think
he is.
Machuk is a way better mover at this point. Like just those 2 things alone.
You know what? I'm probably gonna back. I mean, I'm very tempted to back Makac here. Very tempted. You're absolutely right. This is
3 games is not that
probably
much. It's not like, 4-4 gets there.
yeah. The only thing that's a little scary here is again, it's his first match. It's Australia, so I probably won't. But I would consider Makac here. And I definitely would not play. He didn't play Davis Cup, did he?
He did not. Uh,
Because Czech Republic played, Czechia played. Like I think like Hechka and somebody else played.
Good point. Let's see. That was
I think it was one of the world groups. I don't think they were in the
yeah, they played
qualifier.
Israel. Yeah, it was
Oh, maybe that
men's
was a world group
Lechka.
qualifier then. He didn't play.
He didn't play.
Oh no, he did. He played dubs.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay. So he was there, but it's from Czech. It's not that big of a travel
That's
spot.
not that. That's not terrible.
How about the Machuk 2-0 +115?
Yeah, I gotta think about it. It's potentially in play. It's very potentially in play. I actually like the fact that he played Davis Cup in this case.
Oh, and just played doubles, so he didn't play much, so he can't be fatigued. And then it's a short travel spot.
And
Yeah.
like he played, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
Right.
he was like, he was like, he was out playing, like which is I think is always a good thing. There's no time zone difference. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think at most it's an hour, so that's not that bad. It's probably not more than a few hours flight or train ride.
I'm willing to make the Machuk 3-0 or -3 GBM play if you want.
It
I'm
is highly under consideration. We have a day to think
okay.
about it, but it is
We have a day
highly
to
under
think.
consideration. Like I am very close to backing that.
Okay. All right, sounds good. And then Zhizhen Zhang against Alexander Muller, I guess it's a stay away, right? We brought up all the reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
right? Because of the Zhang's travel spot. He's not playing very well. Typically, I'd be all over the Zhang plus 120.
But this is, I mean, but this is wild. Like this is really disrespectful to Zhang. Like it's just I'm terrified of this type of travel spot. Like this is insane. I mean, he's
But
gonna play off
if
of
it goes
what
to
2 days.
if it goes to plus 130 or 140, we may have to hit it just by default, right?
I mean, if he gets like 150 or something, yeah, like it's just like at what point do you say screw like do you spit into the travel spot? Because like it's just so bad. Like the travel spot's so bad, but this line is like that's the only explanation for this line. Because I think Zhang's a better player than Muller.
Yeah, I'm
Like
also
I think I'm like the virtue on like the virtue of like yeah, like I would
Muller
like
is severely underpowered in this matchup, right?
severely.
Yeah. I'm curious to see like how other guys, especially in the Discord, like Piranha, for example, like, and I guess Tidbits for and MP9 to an extent, like how much they're weighing the travel spot.
I mean, this is a pretty major travel spot. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be what a 14-hour flight you're talking about
Yeah, with jet lag
with
and
8 hours of time difference.
they're gonna get to Marseille. Like, so when you fly from China to France, do you gain those hours or do you lose those
I
hours?
think so. Yeah, I think you get
Gain
the
the
hours a
hours?
little better.
Okay, that's a little better, but they're not gonna
Did they
really
finish up their tie today, or did they finish up yesterday?
good question.
I thought it was yesterday they finished up, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it was. I think you just had it up, or maybe you didn't have it up.
Oh, the China one?
No, yeah, they finished up yesterday.
Right. Okay. So it's a little extra time, plus you gain the hours.
Yeah, he may already be there,
Maybe. Yeah.
but that still is only 2 days. It's not a lot of time to recover body wise. It's probably just a hard pass for me. I'm so afraid of the travel spot.
I'm more likely to hit the Van Ash one than this one just because it's like that's plus 170.
I get it. Yeah, yeah. If you're
But
gonna spit into a travel spot, you may as well get paid to do it.
right. All right. Well, that does it for Marseille. So any GBM candidates, I guess it's just the
I
Machak.
mean, like McCotch would be a GBM candidate. I got to think about it, but that would be a GBM candidate. I mean, that's the other. Honestly, this is a really tough. It's so many travels. Like for whatever reason, this one, I think this is a stronger draw. This one has all the travel spots.
Yeah.
Like
What about
compared to the other two tournaments, there's a ton of travel spots here.
the Shevchenko over 12 and a half?
I got to think about I'm probably gonna back Chevy somehow here. I just got to think about how.
Okay.
So yeah, like that could be a potential play. Him and McCotch would be the two potential plays.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, let's move on to the States, right?
Yeah,
Dallas,
Dallas,
which is becoming a 500 next year.
and it's moving to the Cowboys Stadium next year.
Really?
Yeah, this year
How
it's
about that?
being played at. I don't know if I think Sean Calvert mentioned it's the practice facility or something they're going to play at, but it's going to be a much like it's going to be it's supposed to be like an upgraded facility.
So is it the same venue as last year? This year?
This year it's being played on the SMU campus, but I think it is the same. I think.
Okay.
But it's being played on the SMU campus, which is why, yeah.
Okay. Last year, I remember we had that crazy Isner Yibing Wu.
So that's the interesting part of this. I think this tournament plays pretty quick.
Yeah.
Sean Calvert mentioned I think last year had like 88% hold percentage, 75% first serve one percentage. So you definitely want somebody, and it's indoors, right? So it's an indoor, quicker hard court. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. You want a guy who can serve here. Or at least who can serve and be a little more aggressive here, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year was Yibing Wu who
The year
came in.
before that was Opelka. And Isner was in the final here last year. There was Isner over
Right. Yep.
who over Isner.
Oh,
Yeah.
woo.
Opelka, Kevin Anderson. No, I think it was a different. There was a different venue. I think this was San Diego back then. Like they've changed this tournament location several times, but
I just want to make sure it's the same venue as last year.
pretty sure it is.
Oh yeah, from 25. So
Yeah.
yeah, this year it's the same.
Yeah.
Um, so as far as draw goes, Tiafoe's the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Struggling, but he will play a winner of qualifier or Alex
Mickelson.
Michelson. Then we got a qualifier against Marcos Giron against Mitchell Kruger or Max Purcell. So
I
that's the
think
first.
Purcell's really interesting here in this section.
I think Michelson is interesting here in this.
I don't like Michelson against guys who can play though. Like guys like Tiafoe's. I think Tiafoe beats him. Has Michelson ever beat a top 50 player?
No, I don't believe so, but I mean he's so young to the tour.
Oh, I mean, he beat Lechka. Forgot he beat Lechka. Lechka kind of didn't show up for that
Yeah,
match.
true.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's like he just has no explosion, Michelson, man. Like just like athletically.
I
I
mean he
just
had that good run in Newport last year.
yeah, on a low back. I mean, the, yeah, yeah. I mean, but this isn't grass, right? Like the ball will bounce up more than it does on grass.
I mean, you talk about Tiafoe's motivation all the time. Like, what's his motivation for a 250 here?
Well, it's a home, right? It's at home. That's the motivation. I mean, just don't even know if he has to be like that motivated to beat Michelson. But Michelson does compete. I mean, I get it. I get
I'm
it.
really low on Tiafoe. Like, I'm really low on him right
I
now.
mean, look, he did beat Coric at the Australian Open, like who's been pretty good otherwise the rest of the year.
But that was a first round, so you got to like, take something away from Coric. The fact that it's the first round.
Okay, and he lost to McCotch, who you like.
Yeah, but that was convincingly. It wasn't easy. It wasn't like what was it, 3
Four,
sets?
4 and 6.
That's pretty convincing. Like
Fairly convincing.
a player of Tiafoe's caliber should be winning a set against Machak.
Not saying Tiafoe's been good, but like, what kind of chance do you give Michelson against Tiafoe?
If he's anything better than plus 200, I'm taking it. I'm going to hammer that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping I get that. I probably will.
I would
Right.
think he would. I would think he would. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't love Michaelson. I don't love the matchup there. But I get the thought. Like if Tiafoe's just like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if Tiafoe's been that bad. Like he beat again, he beat Kecmanovic and Coric, he lost to Shang and Makac. Like, I don't know. That's ATP level kind of results. Like,
Okay.
against the guy in Michelson is more of a challenger guy right now.
All right.
I don't
Anything
love.
else you can
I
note?
don't hate Yaron as a player, but I don't love this tournament for him. How did the? I'm sure he's played this before. How did he do here in the past, Yaron? I looked that up.
I think he did pretty well. He might actually be an interesting guy. I hate backing him in general. Last year he made the quarters and lost to Fritz, but it's not
Who did
like
he beat?
he beat Rybakov and Oscar Ote. So it's
Fantastic.
yeah, it doesn't really say too much. But the match against Fritz was close. It was 7-6, 3-6, 6-3.
Yeah, I remember that match actually.
So
Yeah.
I mean, Giron is a dogger pass guy,
Yeah.
right? He's never someone I want to back as
I
a
just think like he's actually got a chance to make it through this quarter.
Yeah, I'd probably back him against Purcell, but like Purcell's not even getting much respect against Kruger, so it's like
I mean,
he
what is he, a 3-game favorite there or something?
2.5.
Oh, really? It's down to 3.5 now? Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Maybe it changed since I last looked, but second quarter we got Monorino against Pedro Martinez or Yoshi Nishioka. I'm surprised Pedro is playing here and not in Cordoba, but okay. Then we got James Duckworth against Zachary Spajda, and then a qualifier against Eubanks.
I really like Duckworth in this section, actually. It's kind of a weird pick. But in this quarter, like Manorino's in a travel spot. Eubanks is on a travel spot.
Did Manorino go to China?
Pretty sure he played. I think he played.
Uh,
I thought he played the second singles match.
it was against Taipei, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Good call. That's an even longer flight than France.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. He's just by far the best player in this quarter,
By
though.
far. By far.
And then Eubanks is in a travel spot too.
Yeah.
He
And
came
Eubanks hasn't
from
even been good. I really don't have any interest in Eubanks here.
yeah, but he can serve and it's a quick court, right?
It's a good court for. I mean, it's a good court for Manorino too. It's just the travel spot.
Yeah, and Eubanks, I mean, where was that tie against Ukraine and
It was
Lithuania?
in Lithuania. Yeah,
But that tie ended a day earlier,
it
so
did. How did he do? Did Eubanks? He must have won his match. Did he win convincingly? I don't even know who
yeah.
Vladislav Belinsky is, but
If he doesn't win convincingly, that's a problem.
yeah.
But yeah. Um I don't know. Duckworth, really? You're gonna do this to me? I gotta think about Duckworth.
I mean, I think it's a good court for him, and like, I think based on now, I'm a little scared of the first round because Vajda's brother plays for SMU, so he should get a pretty good. He should get a pretty good bump. Like that's basically like it's
Yeah.
not a home match for Vajda, but he probably will get a home crowd boost because his brother plays for SMU. Um, and then and obviously he's an American.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like obviously Eubanks will probably. I mean, the thing is like, is Duckworth even better than like a qualifier? I don't know.
I mean, you probably get a good price on him to win this quarter. I just like
Yeah,
you really with Monorino, like also he has a bye, right? So he's gonna be playing probably his first
he'll have several
day.
days. I mean, he will have some days and time, but really, I'm not really on anybody here.
I mean, what price would you need on Duckworth to for him to win the quarter? Like if you could get like 10 to 1, would you go there?
Yeah, I think it's
You
about it.
would?
I think it's about what I would need.
Okay. I just I can't back Duckworth. I can't. Bottom half of the draw, we got Jordan Thompson against Neff, who's Adam
Neff
Neff.
is the number one player for SMU.
Oh, okay.
He's number one for SMU. He's ranked like 80 something in the NCAAs.
Okay. All right.
Like 800 something in the world as a pro
Okay.
player. Um,
Okay. Interesting.
I mean Thompson should kill him, right?
Yeah.
Like SMU pretty much always gets a wild card in this event. Like whoever the top players on SMU's team, because it's at their campus, gets a wild card in this event. So that's why he's in the event.
Okay.
But yeah,
Then qualifier against Radu Albot, qualifier against Michael Moe, and then Ben Shelton is the number 3 seed here. Um,
I love Shelton, man. In this event, like this is just a great court for him. Right? It's a quick court. It's a really good draw for him. Like Thompson could be a problem, maybe,
that's
but
the only
I don't.
guy though. Like,
Yeah,
If he plays Michael Moe, I'm gonna lay games there.
Yeah, like he should kill a guy like a Michael Moe.
Yeah,
He should
100.
kill a guy like a Radu Albot. Like,
Yeah, it's
and even
awesome.
Thompson. I gotta look and see how Thompson plays in America. I don't really know like how well he does in America.
I think I like Thompson Shelton to win this event, man.
He's plus 450. He's the favorite,
Does it?
but I really don't see who should beat him. I mean, he could like look if Tommy Paul shows up, Tommy Paul could beat him.
I mean, there's the NBA All-Star game.
I know, I know. I mean, but like, and like, but like, legitimately, like that's the problem, right? Like, will Tommy Paul like mentally show up for like this whole tournament? Like,
Yeah. I I mean, you got Dominic Kopfer and Kovacevic, Ethan Quinn, who just made a challenger final, right? Lost to Kipson, I believe.
yeah,
He'll play Rinky.
yeah.
Taro Daniel against Lestien, and then Tommy Paul.
This is an awful quarter.
It is.
I don't really like.
I mean,
I can't even tell you who I would like want to back. I mean,
he,
like, I guess Tommy Paul by default, but like Rinky's coming from Australia, right? He played. Didn't he play the Bernie Challenger this week?
he did. He lost early though to Jessica.
It still is a long ass flight. Um,
It is. I mean, I still like him against Ethan Quinn.
yeah, me too. Kopfer, maybe, kind of, but I prefer a guy. I don't know if he's really that good on a quicker court. I think I'd prefer him on a slower court. Kovacevic, maybe. Um,
Yeah, to beat Kopfer maybe, but like,
yeah.
I mean, much more than that. I don't know. I mean, Tommy Paul really should get to the semis, but like, I also think Shelton is a good matchup for Paul, or like it's a good matchup for Shelton.
I just think he's better mentally than Tommy Paul.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's good.
I
Yeah, and then we got
like I think when it comes to Tommy Paul, you have to price that in.
you do absolutely.
Like
Man, I really like Shelton to win this event. Shelton didn't go to
no, he was not on the Davis
Lithuania.
Cup.
He was
Yeah.
not there, so like
Nope.
no travel spot. I guess the only thing you can consider with Shelton is he hasn't played since Australia, right? So like that's a variable, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it matters in this case. It's not like he's playing anyone that he, can't beat.
No, and yeah, I would agree with that.
Like I understand staying away when, he's playing tough opposition, right? Like,
Yeah.
but Mo was actually like the perfect matchup for him in the
I
first
know.
to
I
kind of get
know.
a rhythm, right? And like hit
Yeah.
hit some balls. I think I'm gonna hit that at plus 450 to win the event. Like,
That's the play that I have.
you want to make that GBM?
We can go ahead and do that. Yeah. The other play I looked at here was I think Purcell at 25 or Yaron at 20 are kind of interesting just because you can attack the Tiafo. You can attack Tiafo in that way. Um,
I can't back Jerome to win the tournament. Win a couple matches, okay, but win a tournament, no, no, thank you. Like I'd need like 30, 35, 40 to 1.
he made a final.
Yeah, but you need him to win the tournament. Making a final and winning a tournament is a big, big difference.
Yes.
Like I understand it each way, but like Bovada doesn't offer each way. Like if I got each way at 40 to 1, so I get what 20 to 1 if he makes a final, I would take it,
Yeah.
but you know. I mean, Monorino is always like in 250s on a fast court is always like a decent look.
It's just the Davis Cup travel spot. But if you can get to the first match, you should be clean.
You should be.
Yeah, honestly, that's not a terrible look either because like you could wait and probably get a decent price on him after his first match
Yeah, true.
still. Because like not much should change.
That is true.
Yeah, my plays here as of right now would be Shelton. That would be my only play. Or the other thing I think that's interesting here is if you look at the quarters,
Are they
and I think
up?
I just prefer taking the Shelton, but the third quarter is plus 275, him and Thompson together.
Ooh.
I thought that was interesting too.
Ooh.
I ended up not I thought about it and ended up passing on it to just keep the Shelton because I don't really, but I got to think about it. I got to look a little more into Thompson because like that's the question for me here is like, do I really want to back like because you like the question is just how much do I believe in Thompson?
The thing is, neither
Shelton
of those
lose.
guys can lose before before the quarters, right? Like there's no one else.
No, I mean Mo or Albot. Neff is not a real player in this
No.
tournament. Mo and Albot should not advance through. It should be you should get one of those two guys through.
And then like I
And like both those guys, I mean, even Thompson's good. Like Thompson could win this event theoretically.
and what I like is Monorino's on the top half, so like if Shelton plays him, it wouldn't be until the final.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah. But it seems like a misprice here. Like the fact that you're getting the favorite
I know.
plus
Well, I mean,
450.
Tiafo, Paul, and what's his name are all co-favorites.
Oh, Tiafo, Paul, and
Paul
Shelton.
and Shelton. Do I just thought Tiafo, Paul, and Shelton are all co-favorites. That's why. But yeah, I'm really surprised that the fourth quarter is favored to win the event here. That the end of the second quarter is the second favorite. I don't really understand that at all. So I gotta. I like Shelton on the outright. I gotta think about the third quarter, but it's one of those.
2 units or one or split.
Got to think about it. I got to think about it. It really, for me, it depends on how much I like Shelton or how much I like Thompson. I got to think a little bit about Thompson, but yeah, I'm probably gonna end up on the 2 units for Shelton. It's just hard to see like Thompson. I don't know.
Let's settle it here.
All right.
I mean, Thompson has been decent this year. Like,
Yeah, how did you do last year on American courts?
hmm, lost to Kudla and or it said breaker. Oh, lost to in Delray Beach. Lost to Monorino in Dallas last year.
You know what? Yeah, it's. I think it. I don't really think it matters too much. I think you can go either way. It really doesn't. I don't
Has
know. I think
Thompson played Shelton?
I think they have.
Shelton is up 2-0. He beat him in Tokyo in 3 sets, and then he beat him in a challenger.
In 22.
Close matches.
Kind of. I mean, the first one looks closer because the first set was because Thompson won the first. So yeah, I guess pretty close match.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
But the price difference is substantial. It's plus 450 versus plus 275.
I know. That's why I kind of prefer just taking Shelton and going 2 units there. I think that
Right. I'm doing it.
all
Two
right.
units on Shelton. Let's
That's what
make
we'll
the
do then.
GBM.
That'll be the GPM play.
Nice. GBM on an outright. Interesting.
Yeah, pretty
The
rare.
outrights have been treating us so well this year. Like I feel like
Yeah,
it's it's right that we do it.
yeah.
All right, let's go to individual matches here. We got Taro Daniel and Constant Lestien. Daniel is minus 145 on the money line, 2-game favorite. Lestienne is plus 120, over under of 22.5. I am all over the Daniel -2. I think I actually got the Daniel money line at minus 130. This line moved a little
Okay.
bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, the only concern here is I don't think Daniel's played since Australian Open.
Okay. But I mean, Lestienne has not been good.
It'd be better if Lestienne didn't play. They've never played, it looks like.
Okay, Lestienne. Oh, he played in Montpellier. That's right.
Yeah. He beat Zapata Morales and then lost somebody else.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't really tell me much at all.
I know. I'm not saying I was impressed by a win over Zapata Morales in 3 sets.
Yeah. And Daniel didn't play Davis Cup, right?
I don't think Japan played. Did they? Maybe they played. We think they would. Oh, they did.
Played Lebanon. No, it was Watnuki and
Okay. Yeah.
oh, Lestienne lost to Kabuli 4-1.
Badly. I mean, he's been bad this year. He's really out of form.
Yeah, he is. Lost to
Yeah. I mean,
Billy.
literally the only scary thing. I
You
I
know,
think you
I don't
gotta
think
go. I think you gotta go Taro here and lay the games. Though this is almost disrespectful, I think, to Taro.
it is.
I
I fully.
prefer. Well, but is it really like? I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, Taro had that good run in Auckland, right? Didn't he make the final?
yeah,
Yeah, he lost to Tabilo.
yeah. This one to me, this is there's no way I could ever backless Shen here. It's either Taro or pass.
I am a little
Um,
bit worried about Lestienne's just like funky game getting to Daniel.
yeah.
Mm. I'm not taking too much stock into the Eubanks loss because, like,
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I think he was. I
no,
think he was like that was a big deal for him to make the final
right,
of
of any
a
tournament.
of Auckland.
Yeah.
And he beat Shelton along the way. I think that's more that what that was.
Mm.
It's really more. You know,
I
I'll lay the 2 games. Less
Lestienne
so
is
bad.
so
What?
bad. Lestienne is so bad.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I think it's just disrespectful. Like, I think Daniel should be like minus 170 at least. All right, next match tomorrow. These matches are both tomorrow. Mitchell Kruger against Max Purcell. Kruger is a 3-game dog, so it moved from 2.5 to 3.
yeah.
You got it spot on when you talked about it before. Kruger is plus 175 on the money line. Purcell is minus 215, over under 22.5. I was thinking of going over here just because, like, I feel like Purcell goes over a lot. No matter, it doesn't really matter who he plays.
Yeah.
Like,
But Kruger doesn't even like play ATP level guys.
it's true. Like Purcell can like play guys like Holger Rune and Casper Ruud really tough, but then he can like lose to Sem Ilkel. And
Well, but you got to be careful because I think he had issues. I mean, he played terribly at the end of last year. I think he had injury issues, if I remember right. Like I think with Purcell is he's always got something wrong with him too.
he does. And he
And he's
plays.
always playing through it. Like he's
Yeah.
tough. He's always playing through stuff. But like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Purcell, look, but you're absolutely right. Like, but regardless of that, he can be so good or so bad. To me, this is a pass at 3. At 2.5, I'd probably lay the games, but at 3, it's a pass. Kruger's at home. It's Purcell's first match since the Australian. There's enough here to make me say it's a pass. Barely.
I'm leaning over minus 120. Over 22.5.
I get that. I wouldn't do it, but I get that.
Got to think about it some more, but yeah. Dominik Kopfer and Alexander Kovacevic. Kopfer is a 1-game favorite, minus 125 on the money line. Kovacevic is plus 105 over under 23. This kind of feels like an overmatch to me.
This line so when I looked at this an hour ago, it was at minus 130. Now it's down to minus 125, which to me probably makes it playable, comically enough, for Kopfer.
Ugh. What's the 3 set? Oh my god, minus plus 120. That's disgusting. I actually like the Kopfer 2-1 at plus 310.
That's a decent look. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like Kopfer, it's more of like this line feels really like I just think like Kopfer I think is a better player than Kovacevic, but I don't know, man. I'll probably pass, but it's close. It's appetizing to go on the Kopfer money line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I wish the 3 set line was better. Like plus 2, plus
Yeah.
he's just not good enough. Ethan Quinn and Rinky Hijikata. Um, Quinn is a 1.5-game dog, plus 110 on the money line. Rinky's minus 130 over under 22.
It's another travel spot for Rinky. Like if Rinky wasn't if it wasn't a travel spot for Rinky, I'd be all over Rinky here.
Yeah,
But
but I agree, but like, are we overweighing the travel spot? Is that baked into the line? Like this
yeah,
line,
it has to be because otherwise Rinky would be a way bigger than a game and a half favorite.
which is why I'm enticed to take the Rinky minus 130 because he's just so much better than Ethan Quinn. You know, like
You know, you know.
he lost early in Bernie, so it's not like
He's able to get out of there and get over here. I know. I'm not on Ethan
like
Quinn either.
I know we've had a debate about jet lag in the past. Like you're like, oh, it's an hour a day. Like no, I mean, not for me at least. I'm gonna hit the 130, man. It's just too good.
I get it.
Because like if there's no travel spot, what is it?
Minus
Minus
200 or something.
175?
Oh, probably bigger. Maybe minus 175 because Quinn's at home. But yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. I know MP9 and Tidbits are all over it.
All
So
over Rinky.
yeah. Yeah.
I get it.
Your favorite guy, James Duckworth against Zachary Svajda. Duckworth is a 1-game favorite, minus 130 in the money line. Svajda is plus 110, over under of 23. This for me, this is a pure pass. You have anything?
It's really close to my hit price on Duckworth.
What's your hit price?
Probably right around minus 130.
Okay.
I think it should probably be more like minus 145 plus 120. But like then like you know what I mean? Like basically like I think you could play like I think playing Duckworth at minus 130 is probably close to 0 EV here. But yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. I have no read on that.
I think he's a better play. I think he's a better player than Zvajda. And like I think these courts are a little better for him.
Mm. Jordan Thompson against Adam Neff. Thompson is a 6-game favorite, over under fifth of 18 and a
And again,
half.
this is Neff's home court. So like
Yeah, but Thompson is a legitimate ATP player playing against
that's why I'm probably gonna pass. But I mean the spread is massive, right? It's a 6-game spread. Like
massive. But when is it good enough to take the games?
um probably if it was 7.
Okay.
Like this is exactly where I have this priced.
Yeah. Yeah, Thompson is not a guy that like breaks that often.
Yeah, and again, like you got to keep in mind, like Neff is, like it's actually kind of enticing to take Neff. Like, what is the over under on the Neff games? Here's a 7,
Yeah.
6.5. Over
No,
6.5 is minus 105. Like, that's kind of enticing.
it's a fun bet, right? Like just kind of watching this match, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and if he can, if he can get broken once a set, he gets there. It could be feasible against Thompson.
Just the ball quality might be so different, you know? Like
Oh, I know that's the problem. I
we've seen
probably
this
won't end up
in
backing it, but if I were, the 6 in the first set would be the one that'd be interesting to me. Or not the 6 in the first set, the over 6.5 games from Neff.
Mhm. All right, and the last match, Pedro against Yoshi. Pedro is a 2.5-game dog, plus 130 on the money line. Yoshi is minus 155, over under of 22.
No interest here.
I'm on the Yoshi over 12 and a half at minus 110.
Okay. I
Yoshi
get it. I'm
has,
just worried about the Davis Cup travel spot. It's coming from Egypt.
yeah, but Yoshi plays a lot of close, like tight matches. He won 3 against Hassan. Um,
I get it. Like I think from a tennis perspective, it makes a fair amount of sense. It's just a nasty travel spot.
okay, it's fair.
I've said about every single match, but it's the truth. It's just a really tough set of first round matches.
It is. It is. All right, I'm
Yeah, so
gonna
I don't have much here, fortunately.
go unit and a half on the Rinky.
All right. I get it. Like the only thing here you're fading is a travel spot.
Yeah, I just think it's like over baked in now.
Probably right.
So, all right, and that brings us to our favorite 250 of the week.
Cordoba!
Hell yeah.
Golden swing. So conditions here. There's a tiny bit of altitude here. I want to say it's like 1,000 feet maybe or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It plays a little quicker than your standard clay court because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the key thing here is the heat.
But is it going to be hot all week, or is it just like hot?
I think like through Wednesday it's supposed to be super hot, and it's supposed to cool down in the back half of the week. But definitely like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think are like nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Like it's hot.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the weather now. Yeah, 96 and 93, 96, 97 Fahrenheit for the next 3 days.
Okay.
Thursday's likely to be a wash, which is interesting because you could run into some potential two guys playing twice in a day.
It's far away though, so like it could change. Plus, they can it's clay, right? So you can play on a little rain. If it's downpouring,
Yeah,
they can't.
yeah,
If it's like, you know.
yeah. It's hard to bake that in. It's just something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then the end of the week is cool.
Play with a Dunlop ball here.
Yeah, so the ball doesn't bounce so it plays a little more medium pace because the Dunlop balls don't bounce as much, which kind of offsets a little bit
Don't they fluff up though?
Yeah, but I don't think they bounce as high. Even when they fluff up, I don't think like the.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't know.
And then wind can also be a factor with gusts over 20 kilometers per hour, according to Nishi.
Yeah, and the winds are supposed to be in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range. And you're right, it could gust up, so that could be an issue. Overall, it's tough conditions. It's one of the tougher tournaments in terms of conditions on the calendar.
So this was a very interesting statement by Schwartzman. And we'll get into that Schwartzman Roman match or Burruchaga match.
Yeah.
Schwartzman said in 2023 last year, I arrived on Saturday. It's been 4 or 5 days of training in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night I can't adapt. Control of the ball is very difficult. The bounce of the ball is very high, and that affects my way of playing a lot. It's a place that's not easy for me to play. Every year I say it, but it's not an easy place to play. The ball bounces very high, and the speed of the court does not suit the way I play. I'm trying to adjust. It's a place that's several meters above sea level. Normally, I try to avoid these places, but this is how it is if I want to play. Well, not a couple years ago, but now it is. There are
Well,
certain.
and it's funny because like he made the final in 2020, semis in 22. Like, so it's
Yeah,
not
but
like
he
he's
was
had a
playing
terrible run of it here.
right. Maybe it's because of his crappy form in 2023 is why he's saying that. But like his form
Yeah.
isn't any better now than it was last year, right?
Well, I'm
So
not saying that I'm backing Schwartzman here. I'm just saying like,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's a high bouncing court, but like it's just it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Um Cerundolo said I didn't train too much and the conditions here are very difficult, quite fast. Pela said that the court is fast, the ball flies, but it's slightly heavier ball, so it allows you to control it. Um Altitude, heat, wind, high ball bounce, transition from hard to clay. It's just tough conditions. Like
It's a tough tournament. It's tough. That's the way to
it's
describe it. It's just tough conditions, period.
yeah. So okay. So let's get into the draw then. So Francisco Cerundolo is the 1 seed who's really been struggling. He'll play the winner of Galan or Munar. Then we got Facundo Bagnis who qualified. He'll play Juan Manuel Cerundolo, your favorite, right?
Yeah.
Greatest
Yeah.
athlete since
Sadly, since Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. Marcelo Navoni will play
Is
Roberto
it Marcelo Navoni or
Quintana.
Mariano Navoni?
Mariano Navoni. Yeah. He'll play RCB. So
Yep.
that's the
And that's the
first
quarter.
quarter. Ew. Are you gonna back your boy?
No.
No.
I actually kind of like Bagnis here. So I'm really worried at this event about anybody who really can't serve.
Okay.
And like Navone, like I was kind of liking Navone, but Navone has zero serve. And I just feel like if you don't have a serve, this is a brutal tournament, you know?
Okay. So you think
Like if
bag?
you have to win every point,
Yeah.
that's brutal.
There's some altitude, so the serve plays up a little bit.
Aaliyah, so it's nice if you have one. I mean, Bagnis's serve isn't amazing, but it's better than probably Cerundolo's or Navone's. RCB, I think, is a decent look here, although I don't know how much I trust his fitness, like over multiple matches. Didn't you have a whole bunch of retirements last year?
Mm, good question. I think, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, he had like maybe not. No, he won a whole bunch of matches by retirement.
Oh,
He had just won. I think I can't remember who it was. So it could have wasn't RCB. But
he had one against Stan and
yeah,
Gustave,
but
though. Yeah.
yeah, I think RCB is an interesting look. I think and then like what is Bagnis to win? Are there quarter prices up here? What is Bagnis to win the quarter?
There might be because the No,
No. Do they have Bagnus up here to win the event? They don't.
they
They
don't. It's
didn't put the
a
qualities
qualifier.
guys in. Um,
It's
yeah, I
unfortunate
mean,
because I was looking at a guy who qualified for an outright. Like this is an event where you want a long shot outright.
oh, I don't know that I agree with that actually, but we'll get into that.
Okay.
But but
I mean, Bagnus did win his first qualifying match Love and Love
yeah.
against Rodriguez Taverna. I mean, and then good win against Tarante, 6-3.
When he won the Buenos Aires Challenger, he beat Navone in the finals of that a couple weeks ago. Um, so I think that's really positive. I don't care that he lost in the first round of AO qualifying. Like it's
Yeah, but
like
then didn't he also get clobbered by Montero?
that's fine. I mean, he just won a tournament. You know what I mean? I'm just chalking it up to like,
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm on a Dolo fade, like Cerundolo, or the good Cerundolo. Although it
yeah.
might not be the good one anymore. Yeah. So, all right. Next section, we
But
got
I think, but in that quarter, I think the guys, I would want to back Navone too. I get a little worried because he has no, and I think like that's a
serve.
really bad first round matchup for him actually.
That's a tough section to play RCB and then potentially Bagnus, and then
Yeah,
it's tough for him.
it
Uh,
is.
then we got Echeverry. Um, he will have a bye in the first round. First round, he'll play the winner of Zapata, Morales, and Garin. Two guys have really been struggling. Ramos Manolas against Kachin, who played a final last year, right? I believe
He
in.
won a tournament last year.
Yeah, but this was the final matchup, right?
Yes, I think he beat. Yeah, this was a final last year. You're right. Yes, Kachin. Yeah,
Final.
one of the altitude clay events. I can't remember which one.
Yeah. It was
Gastad.
Gastad. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Kachin puts up some decent results on clay.
He does. And it's like not the same as Gastad, but like it's similar in
There's
a
a
way.
little altitude.
Yeah.
He definitely plays better in like slightly altituded clay.
Yeah. So he might be a
Um,
look here. Coria against Altmaier rounds
Corey
out
was the
the
finalist here last year.
he was, but he's tailed off. He just lost a challenger final to Ugo Carabelli.
That's fine. I mean, that's standard Corey stuff. Like, I'd be more happy that he made a challenger final.
Okay. I think Altmaier's a tough matchup for him though. Because like I feel like they're similar players, but Altmaier does everything a little better.
Altmaier did not play in Davis Cup, correct?
He good question. Germany. They played Hungary. No, it was Kopfer and Struff.
Okay.
Yeah, and he wasn't part of the team, so he didn't even travel.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did not. But has Altmaier played since the Australian Open?
No.
Hmm. That makes it a little bit more iffy.
Yeah. And I don't know, has he played in Golden Swing before?
I'm not sure if that matters.
Oh, I think it matters a lot. These are different conditions with the crowds.
Is it really going to be full stadium?
Probably not. But like, it's also I think Sean Calvin on the Bet Rivers pod said that I think on like Argentinians and then Southern and then like Spaniards do really well here,
Okay.
and then South and then like other South Americans do okay as well. But like Northern Europeans don't traditionally fare well here.
So you're thinking of back in Korea in that match?
I'm not sure. I'm just saying, like, I'm not as high on you as on Altmaier there.
Okay.
I think it's a very interesting quarter. I think Kachin, Ramos. I even think Zapata's interesting because like we know Zapata can't play on hard. Like, yeah, he sucked the past 3 months, but we know he can't play on hard.
Right.
Like now it's like his season is basically 3 months and it starts now.
You're right. Usually
Like,
that would be all over Etch, but like the way he played against Skatov and then to be benched in the second rubber, like in the reverse singles, like that's not a good sign.
to be benched. It's the right word for it. It's just funny to hear about it because like you never hear about a tennis player getting benched. Like, but it's true. He did. He got benched. They put him
He got
bias.
benched. Like
Yeah.
not that's not a good sign for like
And they
someone.
could have benched Dolo.
I know, but like I'm concerned about an injury or something, like
Yeah, well, that's why it's concerning. I agree.
I don't know.
Um,
But usually I'd be all over Etch in this situation.
yeah, I mean, it should be a decent tournament for him. I should still be a decent tournament. Like, it's not like he's been bad all year. You mean like that was one bad match, right? Like,
Draw. Like it was
it's
a one.
not. I mean, I don't think it's that. I mean, I don't. I think this is a tough draw in general, to be honest. It's like it's a lot of It's a lot of clay grinders who can't do anything else.
I mean, every match could be 3 hours here.
Oh, it's all clay grinders. These are all like literally this entire tournament is like I don't know if I've ever seen a tournament where it was all guys who are like guys who can only like Echeverry is probably the only guy on this tournament who's like, and I guess Garin a little bit, but like 80% of this tournament can only play on clay.
Yeah, I mean Schwartzman in his heyday. Maybe Offner. I mean, he has a decent serve, so maybe that's a guy you want to look at. To
Oh, I
be
have no interest. I mean, Offner's never played the South. I don't know if Offner's ever
that's
played in South America
that
either.
European guys don't play that well here. I'm probably going to stay.
What?
You said European guys don't play well here, so
Especially Northern European guys,
yeah,
right? Like the heat's a big thing here, man.
yeah.
And
Tabilo,
remember, like these clay courts are kind of shitty too.
they are, they are. It makes for must see TV though.
It does, but like my point is like you got to have like the right attitude going into this tournament. Like if you need things to be posh, you're not going to do well here.
True.
Like,
I wonder why Bublik is not in this draw.
yeah, can you imagine? Bublik would be like an auto retirement. It'd be like one game to be like done. Like,
uh all right, so next quarter we got Hoffman and Varias. We got Burachaga and Schwartzman. That's my play of the day first round, but we'll get into that match. Darderi against Barrios Vera, and then Offner having a
how
bye.
about a wide open quarter, man?
I am gonna hit this guy Burachaga to win the quarter here.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting look. Um, Roman.
Roman. I'm
Yeah, I think
definitely.
Darderi's not a terrible look either, but I probably would go with I'd probably pick Burchaga.
I think it's a must hit to bet him against Schwartzman. I mean, Schwartzman just made those comments. Um,
Well, that was last year, but
yeah, but same conditions, same short
yeah.
form, right? Like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So, and Burchaga just completely devoured his way through qualities.
I know. I know.
Right? He beat Cecchinato, brushed him aside.
Yeah.
I got him at plus 135 in that match. That was fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't yeah.
And
I mean,
then
I'm not gonna say that Burchaga's like an amazing player though. He's like a solid challenger guy.
but I he had a good run in Punta del Este. Lost he withdrew
He
against
gave a
Toronto.
walkover.
I would be more concerned about that, but then he redeemed himself in
Yeah, that's
qual.
fine. No, he played quad. That's fine.
Yeah, but Montero, Renzo Olivo
Yeah, those aren't bad wins.
to make the semis there, not
Yeah,
bad.
he's only playing clay, so you don't care about how he does on hard courts.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Burchaga's a bad look. Like, I kind of like him against Schwartzman. I'm hoping he's a dog of some type. He is, right?
Plus 100.
Okay. I'd still back it, but I don't think it's as amazing. Like Schwartzman's live to win that match is my point.
I don't think so. I think Berchaga should be a decent favorite.
Okay.
Schwartzman played. No, he hasn't played since Australia, but I actually think that is a detriment to him. Like
Yeah, I agree.
he doesn't have any reps, and like Schwartzman is a guy that like needs those reps.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So like that's another reason why I want to back Berchaga.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all over that. That's a 3-unit play for me.
Okay. I'm on it, but I'm not as excited as you are.
Oh, it's not GBM worthy.
It's probably GBM worthy, so I'll probably put 2 units on it, but it's not like, you know.
Okay, but yeah, I
And I like Darderi too. I think Darderi's a really live qualifier here too, but I think Berchaga. I wish they had a lineup on what Berchaga would be to win a quarter of the event because, like, I think that's a really interesting play here.
yeah, it probably will come out at some point. He
It
qualified.
probably will, yeah, yeah,
Arderi is an Italian though.
yeah. It's still Southern European.
How has his results been?
Question. I just know he's been playing well lately, right? Yeah,
I think qualifiers could be an interesting look here just because like they're used to the conditions.
exactly, exactly. And I like that the fact that he came down in the fall and played a bunch. I mean, I think those are all South American challengers, so he clearly likes playing in this area of the world.
Yeah, good point. It's a very interesting quarter here.
I think it's a very interesting. Well, there's nobody who's great. I mean, like if I had to back somebody, it would probably be Hanfman. I don't even love doing that, but like the serve, like the serve should play up a little bit here. But honestly, like yeah, I mean, given odds, I would probably back up Berchaga here. I like Berchaga here a lot, and then I like Darderi here a lot as well. The two
Okay.
qualities.
Always, yeah. And then Varias, I mean, coming from that emotional Davis Cup tie against Chile, plus the surface
I
transition.
just don't love the surface change.
Yeah. 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 All right, we'll see. Then the bottom quarter, we got Tabilo against Comasana. Got Diaz Acosta against Facundo Augustin Gomez, the beneficiary of my Mute fade.
Yeah,
Hugo Delian against Seaboth Wild. And then Sebita Baez, the 250. What's the word?
King,
250 King. The Clay
Clay
2.
King, the Clay 250 King. Yeah.
Uh
This is Baez's tournament, man. Like
is
I think this is a great draw for him.
I think Seaboth's Wild is an interesting a challenging match.
I don't know, man. I mean, what has Will done besides that one match where he played well against Rublev?
Or Medvedev, you mean? Oh well, Rublev and Medvedev.
Right, but like he was, and granted it was on hard courts, but he was 1-9. He's 1-9 in his last 10, and it's all against decent competition, but still, like,
A lot of it is on hard. And then like the
it's all hard. But like,
last time he played on clay, he won a Genoa Challenger and beat decent guys.
yeah,
Actually won 2 challengers in a row.
I mean, look, it's not like I'm not saying he
He's a
sucks. I'm just
respectable
like,
guy.
yeah,
I don't know. I like his clay court resume. I
yeah.
don't
I mean,
not like it, but I respect it.
I agree. Um, but I still think Baez should beat him.
And then you can't Yeah, I agree with that, but
Like
I'm not.
these are all these are all we're looking at all challenger success, right? Against a guy in Baez who wins these events.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the who he's beating, like
But these are all good challenger guys.
Navoni, Darderi.
All good challenger guys.
Okay.
Right? Like compared to Baez, right? Like
But are you buying Baez's form just coming off that like emotional Davis Cup win?
he only played one match and it's at home, so it would only be a mental issue.
Yeah, but it's also not against a great player like Dmitry Popko, and it's going 6-7-6 in the third.
Yeah, but it's Davis Cup. He got subbed in last minute, probably. Like he probably showed up to this tie thinking he wasn't gonna play.
But I think the fact that you're coming off that emotional win and then you're coming.
I mean, a mental fatigue thing factor, Chris, or like, who knows, if the Argentine players are out celebrating a little too much. I don't know. Um, yeah,
I'm just saying, like, if this match happens, I'm gonna back Wilch.
okay.
I don't know. I just
I get it. It's more like I mean, this is like Bai's the defending champion. Like this is his tournament to win. Like if there's a tournament out there for him to win this year, it's this tournament. And I'm not saying there's not other tournaments that he can't win, but
Mhm.
like this is like the perfect tournament for him.
Okay.
His serve gotten better, plays up a little bit. It's on.
I'm weighing that Davis Cup match more than you
That
are.
is the question mark. That is the question mark. Is the emotion of that Davis Cup match? I don't care that he played like shit. The emotion of that match is a little concerning.
And Seaboff Wild is a respectable clay court player. Like he's not Facundo Augustin Gomez, or he's not Comasana, or
Yeah,
even Burachaga, or like,
yeah,
he
fine,
has court pedigree with multiple clay court challenger wins. Like,
fine.
I don't know. That's just me. But like Tabilo is a guy I'm gonna fade. I'm probably gonna back Comasana here. Like that was really that took a lot of energy, that Davis Cup tie
Yeah, I'd be really concerned about Tabilo.
with a
This
surface transition.
service transition and like that, the way those Chilean guys were fired up, and I don't know. Yeah,
They're probably
I
gonna be
agree. What?
they're gonna be celebrating.
Yeah, you would think.
Oh. So that there goes the draw. Anything on the outrights you like?
Baez.
Yeah, I can't get there with you.
It literally, I get it. Like that's literally in my mind the one question mark
Okay. That
because
being
like he's just so much better on clay than anybody else in this draw.
if he gets through it, that first match, then I really like him. Ugh, I really, really, really want to back Etch here. It's just like I can't get that. Like I think there's some question marks there. I think Kachin is interesting at 20-1.
I agree. I think 21 is a fair price on him. The problem is it's actually a really tough section. Like Ramos, like not. I mean, Ramos has been terrible forever now, but like if he does show up, Corey was a finalist last year. Zapata and Etcher no slouch. Like,
It is a really tough draw.
like that's a really tough draw for him specifically.
Yeah,
That's why I don't like Etch either. Like that, I just think that second quarter is a really tough quarter. And like, I think that literally every single one of those guys could make it out of that quarter.
What's Seawald Welch here?
25.
It's like I think whoever wins that second round match gets through the quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And then like whoever makes it out of this interesting quarter.
Should be a dog against. Yeah, I mean, I think Wild is a good look here too, to be honest.
I mean, he'd probably be a dog against like Hoffman or but like if it's the two guys that we think Burchaga or Darderi, like I mean, I like Seabot Wilch uh chances. And then in the final, I mean, I would take a 25-1. Like I'll sweat it against anyone. Like who cares, right? You want to win
Yeah,
it, you know. Like I'd gladly embrace that sweat, and
yeah, yeah. I mean, it all that all comes down to how concerned are you about bias. And if you really think that Baez isn't going to be ready to go for that match, then I think Wild is a great play.
I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit the Seaboth Wilch.
Okay. I'm not there with you because I think that uh I'm because I like Baez, but
Okay. So we got popcorn tennis on the outright market for that one
we
match.
do for that one, yeah, yeah.
Nice. And then I am looking to see the Burchaga price
Yeah.
comes out because like if that's like somewhere near 50-1, I'm gonna play that too.
Okay.
Yeah. How about the bottom half to win the draw at even money? The problem is it's just Baez, like and Wilch.
Oh,
Like
it's not. I mean, Wilch is not the second best player in this tournament. It's it's just Baez.
it's just Baez. Yeah, let's that's true. But like the top half is so much stronger, like from top to bottom, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's just that Cerundolo, like it's Cerundolo just is awful right
Still
now.
like respect him as part of the draw. And then like Etch, I think he has some question marks, but if he gets through the first two matches, like, he
Then
becomes
he's
like
playing well, and then that's tough. Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. I
tough.
don't love my Baez hit. Like I think it's like slightly better than even money. Like my fair market price on Baez was 5, not 550. But I yeah.
Okay. How about the
I
win?
just felt like I almost had to hit somebody because I want to fade Cerundolo so hard here.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
just don't know how else to do it because like I said, I think Diana at 25 is kind of interesting there, but like I think that's probably a fair market price. Yeah.
I might hit Etch too, just as like a
Actually probably a fair market price too at 8-1, just 'cause he's so much better than anybody else right now in this. Like it's really just that one, it's really just one bad match you're talking about. The problem is you don't know if something's wrong.
yeah, he got benched.
Yeah.
Back to that. But 8-1 when he's just like, ugh,
And like assuming Cerundolo plays as bad as he's been playing, he's the second best player in this draw
I know, I know.
in these conditions. Like, I would way rather have him than Offner, and then I'd way rather have him than anybody else. But yeah, I don't know. Eight's tough though, because eight's like it's not a huge price, given that again, like he's not the best player in this draw, and you've got a concern, right? So this like you're stacking up a lot for 8-1.
And then do you like, and he's in probably the toughest quarter on top of that.
Right. Well, that's the other problem too. Yeah, and the draw. So yeah, I can't take him at 8-1 because of those three things.
Hmm, you might be right.
Like I don't think he's a guarantee at all to beat Zapata or Garin on clay. He should. but I don't think he's a guarantee. I don't think he's a guarantee if he plays Kachin or Ramos.
Or Ramos is better. Kachin is tough, and Altmaier is tough too.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
And then
like I think it's a decent price. I don't think it's terrible. Um, yeah, I don't think it's a terrible price. But the problem is the concerns, like, because if he's good, if he's like decent, if he's decent, like if he's not hurt and not sick, I think he's probably 50-50 to make it out of that quarter. Because he's the best player, but he's got to win 2 matches. So it's probably 50% chance he gets out of that quarter.
how does he play in altitude?
I think he's fine. He's got a decent serve, right? His serve is pretty good. He's got that serve forehand. It should play up.
Like, how did he play Gestad and like
It's full semi, not bad.
lost to Baez in a tough match? Last year he lost to Souza, and then Buenos Aires he got to the quarters, lost to Nori. He's a better player now
Then he
than
made final in Santiago. It's kind of that was the springboard for him.
right. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna take it. I can't not.
I hear you.
I gotta take it.
I hear you.
All right, let's go to the individual matches. And all right, Galan and Munar started off. It's a pure pick'em over under 22.5. It's just an ugly match, dude.
Yeah, I want no part of this.
I'm playing the Munar money line at -110.
Okay.
I just think he has a little bit more spin, a little bit more ability to hit through the conditions. I think Galan, like, he hits a very flat ball. So I think the lack of margin is gonna not be good in these conditions.
Yeah.
But like, and Munar is better on clay than hard, you know, like
Yeah.
if this
I
was
get it.
hard court, I'd probably go the other way and back Galan, but the fact it's on clay, I'm gonna go Munar here. Like
I
I
get
think
it.
like -130. Like I think it's 20 cents off.
Okay. I get it.
Bagnus and your boy. You going
Going
back,
Bagnus.
huh?
I'm going Bagnus here. I'm gonna go against my boy and take Bagnus.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Yeah, I
You
mean, Juanman has not been, I don't know. He wasn't very good at the end of last year.
mm-hmm.
He did win 2 matches in Punta del Este, but not, not amazing. I mean, you know, not amazing competition. Bagnus is in better form, and I think that's enough for me to take him. Like, just the form of the past 2 weeks is enough for me to back him at -120 here.
Okay. I mean we said we like qualifiers here, right?
Yeah, for the
Oh,
first round or two at least. Yeah,
that's the biggest reason why I would take Bagnus.
yeah.
Just
So
because
that's probably my favorite play of the round actually. Here is this here, Bagnus.
I'll back you. Oh, well, we can make a GBM if you
All
want.
right, nice.
Um, Hugo Delian against Seaboth Wilch. I'm laying the 3 with
Oh, I'm
Seaboth.
the other way. I got Hugo +180 here.
Whoa.
Hugo's not bad, man. Like I agree with you. I think Will should be a favorite, but like Hugo, like because he's only good on South American clay tournaments, um, like the altitude should help him. He's got a decent serve. Um, I don't know, decent serve, decent forehand.
How did he do here last year? I remember watching quite a few of his matches last year.
He made the semis last year here.
Ah,
Beat Wild here last year. He's beaten Wild 3 times in the past 2 years. I agree with you. I think Wild probably will win, but I don't see why. I mean, I think this is being priced up because of Wild's success against top guys, as opposed to like his everyday standard. And then Delian just like he's just only useful on South American clay courts.
okay.
But I think like this is
Interesting. Yeah, he does play well. I mean, in South American clay courts for sure.
yeah.
He knows what he's doing on this stuff. But that being said, Wilch does too. Like the quality of his wins are just at a higher level.
I I agree. And I think Wild should win this match.
Yeah.
But I think he wins it like 60% of the time.
Okay.
Maybe maybe and I'm getting Delian at plus 175. Like if this was plus one like yeah. Yeah. I just think I think I think there's a little bit of value here on Hugo. The 3-0 on the H2H, like it doesn't tell me that Hugo's a better player, but it tells me that I should be happy to get him at plus 175.
Mhm. I mean, you're making me nervous about the laying the 3, but I can't get there with Hugo with the money line. But I hear your logic. I hear your logic. The Seaboth Welch over 12.5 looks interesting.
Yeah, I don't think an over here is a bad look either.
22 is the line.
I mean, I've taken Hugo here on the money line just because I do think like I don't know if I'm gonna back Hugo here, I'd rather have something more plus money-ish, but
Okay.
I I could see going with an over here too. I mean, in fact, I might end up splitting my bet here and going with the dog over combo. But yeah, this is a play I really like.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with the 3 and I might add the over as well.
Okay.
Ramos Vinolas and Pedro Cachin. Cachin is minus 120 on the money line. ARV is even money. So I have 2 plays here. I like the Cachin money line at minus 120, and I really like the 3 set line at plus 130.
Figured you'd say that. Um
I like the over 12.5s too.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
which side are you taking?
Now the only problem is Kachin has not won a match since October. It's all hard court stuff, but I mean, he's been losing to people who are, not ATP players.
It's
Um,
it seems like it's hangover from that title in Gstaad. Was that his
maybe. I mean,
last win?
what?
Was that his last win?
October was last win, October 9th.
Was it that
No,
tournament?
no, 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 no. Gustav was back in like
Oh,
June or
that's in
July.
August. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But his last he's lost his last 7. Kovacevic, Remy Bartola, who's ranked 457 in the world. Bodic, Max Hooks ranked 369 in the world. That was on clay. Brody, Adam Walton, and Dijon.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
This is a pass to me. Like
Yeah, but
because of that. But otherwise, I could see getting behind the Kachin. I mean, Ramos hasn't been much better, I don't think. But
you're convincing me to lay off the money line. I'm gonna still go with the 3 sets.
okay, okay. I might end up doing that too. I mean, damn, 3 sets at plus 130 seems like a good play, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know who I want to win the first set then. Right?
Yeah,
Like you usually when you take that line, like like there you want somebody to win. You're more worried about one guy getting to one set than the other, so like you know who you're rooting for to start the match. And this one I legitimately don't know.
I know. I know. Yeah, I guess just start watching when the second set starts.
I mean, I guess that's why the over 12.5 is kind of interesting too, right?
Yeah.
It's because like, man, like can either of those guys get home without making it difficult? Like,
I wish you could parlay both together.
I mean, you actually could play both guys over the 12.5.
It's a good look.
And
You're
you
gonna
win,
be
like,
money on
and
the
if you win, if it goes 3 sets, there's a decent chance you win both. If it doesn't, then you're just hoping that one of the sets gets to gets over 10 games.
right. And you're getting
Honestly, too, like what is the set one over? Ooh. I mean, the over 10.5 games in the first set could be interesting too, at plus 240. Like, not so much because like it's almost like the sneaky over 10.5, where like it's not because of no breaks, but it's because they both break each other an equal amount.
yeah, tough conditions too.
Yeah, and it's just a very tough competitive first set.
Those over 10 and a halves or over 12 and a halves in altitude is always a good look because like I feel like the market always thinks like on clay there's going to be a lot of breaks like,
Yeah.
altitude. I remember having a lot of success with that bet in Madrid.
Yeah, and this is one where like this is also one where I think like this one you could have a break and a break back.
Yeah.
See, those
I
are
would
all my
stick
thoughts
with the
there.
3 set line, but those are interesting looks here.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, next match we got is Facundo Diaz Acosta against Federico Augustin Gomez.
This line just is pretty fresh. Um,
I am all over the Gomez plus 260 here. I just think like, okay, Federico qualified, right? So he has 2 matches under his belt. I think he got a lot of confidence from the Mute match. Maybe that's just me getting a lot of confidence, but uh he's kind of he's an aggressive player, so he likes to take matters in his own hands. From what I remember, Diaz Acosta is more passive, right? He's more like a grinder.
I think so, yeah.
So like the match will I think Gomez will try to make the match be in his own terms. But like, Gomez does hit a lot of errors, which is why he's ranked where it is. But like at plus 260 with a guy that qualified and is used to the conditions, like I think it's a must hit just based on price. Like it's a pure price play for me. Just 260 is just too good. Like I don't think any of these guys, with the exception of maybe like someone playing Baez or Etch, should be at that price in this tournament in the first round with tough conditions and all the variables around it. Like,
I hear you, but Acosta's a way better player.
yeah, I agree with that. But plus
Um,
260, like this should be plus 200, plus 180.
okay. I
It's just a pure dog price play for me.
yeah.
It's not 2 units worthy. It's 1 unit. Again, I'm
Yeah,
sticking with the narrative of back in qualifiers here, just because of
they're
um.
amongst the conditions. I get it. I get it. I get the reasoning. Um, but just damn, there's a gap here in terms of skill level.
Okay, fair.
Uh,
Yeah, I can't debate that.
and like you're still giving him a 25% chance. You know, this line is still giving Gomez a 25% chance of winning. It's not nothing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that 25% to the bank.
Okay.
No. All right, Tabilo and Komasana here. Tabilo is a 2.5 game favorite, -175 versus +145 for Komasana. Over 22.5 or over under 22.5 is the total. I'm on the Komasana money line at +145 here, just because of the travel spot, the emotional Davis Cup tie, plus the surface transition. Just a lot of reasons to fade Tabilo here.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take Momasana here. Um, yeah, I'll take Komasana here.
Okay.
But it's I'm not as confident in it.
Not GBM. No, it's not. It's one.
It's yeah.
All right. Next match is Bernabe against Christian Garin. Oh, man. Bernabe is +130 on the money line. Garin is -155. Garin is a 2 game favorite. I'm a total stay away here, man. I Garin's been pretty bad lately too. He lost his last 3 matches. Just lost to Cecchinato 3-2.
Zapata's +135, right? I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna take that. Garin was on the Davis Cup team. He was there. They didn't play him, which tells you where he's at. He didn't play. They didn't. I mean, they didn't even put him in for dubs. They didn't put him in at all. But he was on the team, so
Okay.
he was there, like celebrating, yada yada yada, not
Interesting.
getting ready for this tournament.
Okay.
Um, so like he will have to travel, yada yada, right? Like,
Yeah, but Bernabe
um,
so bad recently.
you know what? I'm gonna stay away.
How much of it do you think is like, oh, he's just playing on hard court and he sucks
I
on?
think it's mostly him playing on hard court. Like he's just like he's never been like what has Bernabe ever done on a hard court?
I understand, but like you don't think like you think like, oh, he gets on the clay court and he sees some red dirt, like, oh, I'm immediately just
No, he
gonna.
can move on clay. He can't move on. He can't he can't. I mean, we talk about it all the time. He can't get out of the corner. He's like a screwed up. Like he's like an old like N64 controller that like doesn't work properly. You remember the N64 controllers that like you'd like the joystick would get like stuck or like if you didn't have
Yeah,
it like properly set when you turn the game on, it would get all screwed up. Like that's like Zapata Morales.
like someone spilled some apple juice on the joystick, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And then like all of a sudden he gets on the clay and it's like going back to the old like D-pad and he's good to go. Like I guess the opposite. It's like when he's on the when he's on the hardcore, it's like he's on the D-pad, and then when he gets to the clay, it's like a joystick.
it's funny. I can't though. I gotta see one match from him to see if like maybe the joystick is just completely broken,
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to see that.
I'm
Like,
so down. I might. I'm not sure if I'm a hip or not. Or not. I might just because it's plus money, and because of the Garin. Those Chilean guys were fired up, man.
or yeah. I mean, you saw the tie was Green like on the floor celebrating too.
He actually might have been the guy that was on the floor celebrating. I couldn't tell who it was, but it was somebody who didn't play, so it might have been Green. Like it wasn't Vera, Tabilo, or Jari. So yeah.
All right, moving on. Coria against Altmaier. Coria is a 2.5 game dog, plus 145. Altmaier's minus 175 over
This is
under
exactly where I have this priced.
2. Me too. So stay away. I'm leaning the Altmaier minus 2.5. I think on clay where Coria like can't he struggles to hold serve. Like I think 2.5 is like not that much, to be
Oh,
honest.
2.5 is nothing. But I think that's kind of part of what's baked into the line because it's also like you're not getting a great price on the money line.
Oh, if I'm playing something, I'm playing the Altmaier minus 2.5.
No, I know, but I'm saying like usually they don't give. I feel like usually, I guess the Komasana match is the same thing, but I feel like the fact that it's on clay, like you're not seeing the 2.5 games like on a hard court. A lot of times this line would be like minus 180 plus 150 at least.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a 2.5 game spread, and here you're seeing a one, it's 175 plus 145. So I feel like it's like slightly baked in, slightly, but you might be right. It's not as much as I thought at first.
Yeah, I'll think about it, but like, yeah, probably stay away. Darderi against Barrios Vera. Darderi is a 3 game favorite, minus 220 on the money line. Barrios Vera is plus
Barrett
180.
was also part of the Chilean Davis Cup team.
Oh,
He
wow. They were
played he played doubles. He lost in doubles, played terrible. But yeah. Um
thinking of laying 3 games here for Darderi.
that's the problem. Is like that's probably not. But it's close. I'm contemplating it. I wouldn't play Vera.
No. I mean, that's where I go. That's where my eyes get attracted to. The
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, now Vera did beat Darderi a couple months ago
okay.
in Santa Fe Challenger in the third set tiebreak.
Play as well.
What? Clay.
Play.
Yeah. South American clay.
Say,
Um,
what was the score?
6-4, 4-6, 7-6.
Ooh, it's
That was
close.
a close match.
But the travel spot, Darderi qualifying, like all
Yeah,
that.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons like Darderi here. The question is it enough to get you to 3 games? That's the question.
It's probably well set, to be honest.
Yeah.
Navoni against RCB. Navoni is a 2 game favorite. RCB minus 145 versus plus 120 for Navoni. Over under 22.
I'm on. I think this is pretty well set. I wanted to play Navona, but I think this is a tough matchup for him against RCB. I just think RCB can out defend him. Like Navona doesn't have he's more of a grinder. I feel like he's like a tough minded grinder, and that's kind of what RCB is also.
But
The
RCB,
over 12 and a half is not a bad look for RCB here. That's an interesting way to look at this match. I think that's not a bad play at all.
that's where my eyes attract. I like that. It's even money. And like I have a feeling like a lot of these matches are going to be long grinders.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So it's going to be hard for anyone to blow anyone out here.
Yeah.
Burachaga and Schwartzman, we discussed this.
Berchaga. Yep.
Burachaga.
I'll tell you on that. Yeah.
SGBM.
That's GBM. Yep.
All right, so okay, we discussed that, so that's good. I also like the under 21.5 there a lot. Like in matches that Schwartzman struggles in, but then yeah, but I mean, in that case, just hit the Burachaga money line. But
Yeah.
feel like when Schwartzman struggles, like it's one-way traffic. Like he
What about
competes
going Berghaga 2-0? If you really feel that way.
through the set ladder.
Yeah.
Ooh. Plus 215.
Yeah.
I'm going there.
Oh.
Do 1 unit there. And then well, I want to look at that first before. I want to see the last time Schwartzman lost a match but forced a third set. Yari, but everyone does that with Yari. I'm not taking too much into that. Oh, she took a set off Schwartzman and Zverev in Beijing, but who doesn't take a set off Schwartzman off Zverev? Bolt. See, yeah, look at that. So when he loses pretty easily. He lost to Rinderknecht 3-4-2 at the US Open. Lost to Demonor 11-5, Demonor 4-4.
Yeah, but Demonar should beat him by that much at this point. Like
Michelson 1-4, Kudla 6-4.
yeah, I don't know that I'm buying into that narrative. Like
Yeah, you might be right. But then again, Schwartzman did say he doesn't like the conditions here. Like I'm taking a lot of stock into that comment he made last year. Like this is a really tough place for him. Like last year at in Cordoba, he lost to Juan Manuel 6-1.
well, he was playing like dog shit at that point. I mean, he lost like set. He like that was when he couldn't win a set out to anybody.
The year before he made the semis. Lost to Tabilo.
I mean, he's been decent here in his career.
Yeah.
Then again, it really isn't a very good run. I mean, he beat Galan and somebody else, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's
28 plus 52 weeks.
I mean, I'm Borchaga, but probably just more money line.
Okay.
But I get it. Like,
Yeah, you know what? I got 3 units on the money line. I'm gonna stay away there. Like I know I'm gonna pinch myself if it does happen, but like whatever. Still good profit. Hoffman and Varias. Um hmm. Hoffman minus 175, 2.5 game favorite. Varias is a 2.5 game dog plus 145. I kind of like Hoffman here, to be honest. Like Varias coming back from that tie against Chile where that was a lot of energy. Surface transition. Has Hoffman played since Australia?
no,
Are you on Hoffman here?
no, I'm on nobody. I'm passing.
Hasn't played. Yeah.
Hoffman, like the last 2 years here, he lost to Darderi last year,
Okay.
and he lost to Juan Ignacio Londero the year before that, who was actually a decent player for a little while. I think he actually played. Did he play? He played somebody in the first round of a slam. Was pretty good at some point.
Djokovic at the US Open. Took him to a tie.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a decent player.
yeah, he was when in his day. Um, and then yeah, then before that they didn't really, but the last 2 years here he's lost in the first round. I don't.
Yeah.
And like this is a big event for Marius, right? Like I know he's coming from. Like I think in some ways it's better that he lost. Like I think it'd be harder to get over it if they won.
So much better on clay than hard.
And he's so much better on clay. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
might be right.
and again, like this is his best month, right? Like for Marius to go get points.
It is.
So
All right, so that does it. So in terms of GBM plays in Cordoba, we got the Bagnus money line tomorrow at minus
Yep.
1.
And then we'll go with the other qualifier,
Burchaga. Right.
Rochaga, yeah, even money.
Okay, sounds good. As far as my other plays here, I'm on the Munar money line at minus 110. I'm at the Seaboss Wild -3, as well as the over 22.
Which is funny because they're kind of against each other, but
Yeah, they are. But I could see go 3 sets and Seaboss Wild just pull away.
you could get a 3-set cover. You could get 7. You could get 7-5-6. 7-5-6-4, which would push, I guess, the over. But you could, I mean, you could get a push and a win. That could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on the ARV Kachin 3 set line. I'm on the Augustine Gomez plus 260 money line. I'm on the Comasana. We're both on the Comasana, but it's just not cheap 2
Yeah,
units.
it's just not GBM worthy. Yep. Yep.
I'm staying away from Zapata Morales. Green, you might be on Zapata, right? You have to look
Yeah, I
more.
might be in the pot. It's close.
Altmaier, I'm not sure, but I might play the -2.5. You're staying away?
Yeah.
Okay. Darderi, Vera, we're both staying away. We think it's the right line.
Yeah.
I'm on the RCB over 12.5 here against the Navoni. Burchaga we mentioned, and then Hoffman Varias, we're staying away.
Yep.
That does it there. As far as a recap on Dallas, we have the GBM play as the futures, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
I'm on Daniel money line. I'm on Kruger Purcell over. I'm on Rinky money line. You're on Duckworth money line.
Yeah, I think it's the one play I have is the Duckworth money line.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm on the Yoshi over 12.5. As far as Marseille, no GBM plays on the individual matches.
No GBM was in the matches there now.
Marseille.
Not much. I'm considering Gasquet, but I still got to think about it. And then like the 2 hours I have before that match starts.
GBM is the Machak -3.
Yeah, we determined that, right?
Or is it the 2-0?
I think I would take the minus. I think I would slightly prefer the -3.
Okay. It's a bit juiced. I'm thinking doing the 3.5 at a better price, -105.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
No. Okay, so that's that. As far as the other plays there, I'm on the Martyr Musetti over. I'm on the RBA -3.5. I'm on the Shevchenko over 12.5 against Bonsai. I'm probably going to be on the Van Ash plus 170. That's yet to be determined because of the travel spot, but I like it. I'm on the FA -2.5 at -125. Fokina Barrera, I'm staying away. Love
I
them.
might have taken the -2 on Fokina.
Oh yeah, we might do that. That's right.
Yeah.
And then, the Zhang is already plus 115.
That went up. What was that before? Plus 120.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it'll be.
All right. So that does it for a Megapod.
Yeah, that was a long pod, man. 3 hours again. Back to the megapods.
Yep.
Too many events.
But it was fun. That was
Oh, dude, it's so fun, man. So many events. I love it.
Oh, amazing. All right. Any parting shots before we head out?
No, man. No, just another fun week coming up. I'm excited for the Golden Swing just to watch it.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a good one and enjoy the tennis. And we should be back midweek for hopefully another episode. So,
Yep. All right. See you guys.
guys, peace out.